Yo, yo. Oh, what the frick, man? Okay, where the heck? All right, so how do I share this? Share. Here we go. Oh, share your screen. How do I share this? Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yo, I see you. Oh, shoot. What happened? You left. Okay.
Nice back.
Hey, hey. Hey, can you do me do you have like another, do you have like, what are you doing off your phone right now?
Right now, because my computer's still updating.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, we'll use your phone for video and then your computer for the audio. Yeah.
You want to use my phone for the video?
Yeah, because I don't know. It's up to you. I
I
guess.
just think it might be kind of poor. I don't know. Is it poor quality?
Well, it's just video. No, I mean it's just video. It's fine with me. It sounds fine with me. It sounds perfect, actually.
So I could just do this.
Oh, hey, Derek, what up?
I like how the Bad Catholic Dads one, it just says bad.
What does it say? Bad.
Like the little icon when you're not talking, it just says bad on the bottom.
Oh, nice. I'll have to change that to BCD or something.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound great. Woo! Audio's crispy. Let me see that setup, Derek. Let me see it. Show me your setup.
Oh.
Look at that. Pro audio.
I mean,
All right, I'll stop talking so you can show it.
What?
I said I'll stop talking so it can show you only.
Oh, I don't even know how to show. Hold on. It's like stuck with so many
Hi, Al.
wires.
It's whoever talks. It's whoever talks.
Oh,
What's
so I have
wrong,
to sing
sweetie?
you. I have to sing you a sweet song while I'm.
Check this out. I got my nope. Camera's here. Check this out. I got my lavalier for the video, and then I got this for the audio. Let's go, boys.
Sweetheart.
There's like a lava joke in there, right? I lava you too.
I got a lavalier too. I could. Oh, I see. I could have used the joke.
You could.
Put your,
See,
are you your lavalier on your phone?
Missed opportunity. I could do it.
That's up to you. All right, I'm gonna invite you guys on Skype now for the audio. Does that make sense?
yeah.
Hang on. Let me get Francis. Hold on.
Okay. Make sure to switch. Switch this actually. Switch this. Actually, no. Yeah, switch it. I think I need to be up more. Oh, is that too high? Am I in frame, guys? Am I good?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. I can't see. I probably should sit on the other side so I can see video too, but it'll probably be distracting. So,
I mean, I could move this. All right.
Derek, it's been a week since you were here, dude.
It's been a week, man. My kids keep saying like we want to go back to James' house.
Aw. I miss you guys already too. I'm sure James misses you. So we had the speech therapist evaluation today.
How did that go?
So they come to your house and
okay, so they're more comfortable and stuff.
yeah, so they came to our house and then basically what happens, oh shoot, I'm going the wrong way. Basically what happens is they bring 3 people. They bring a special educator, they bring a early childhood development person,
Okay.
and they bring a service provider. So like if you qualify for this service. And so they ran tests on him, on James, to kind of see everything. So yeah, it was basically playing. It was almost like playing. They like played with him basically to kind of test it out. That's really interesting.
So did they come to any like thoughts or?
All right.
Yeah, they basically so his like motor skills and his fine motor skills and his all his physical stuff is like on age.
Mm-hmm.
But his cognitive and social kind of stuff and his speech and vocabulary is like at the age of like an 18-month-old. So it's really just the delay. It's really, which is good because we knew that like he had a speech delay and a vocabulary delay.
Yeah.
But he like they don't have any worries about him, like nothing about autism or anything like that. So that was a big relief today too.
Cool.
So I was very happy about that. Oh
Yep,
gosh,
I think my computer's back.
Computer's back, y'all. All right, let me. This gain.
Just in time.
2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, I'm gonna get off video, so I'm gonna get the audio. Right back. Where's that? Oh. I sent out a thing on Facebook. I need to send a thing on Twitter. Hold on. Oh. Twitter. Can you guys share on Facebook our recording so people can jump in here and watch us?
All my friends are asleep.
That's true.
We're gonna start getting some fans over on the West Coast. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna have a West Coast tour in August, so I'll be getting some people out there.
You gotta do it, dude.
Bakersfield, California.
Sweet. Okay, so what do you want me to do?
Be yourself.
Do what?
Be yourself? Is that? I don't know what he's talking about.
Like for my setup here.
Oh, so for your setup, you put your phone somewhere kind of in front of you so people can see your face. And then for your audio, you could just go on Skype, and that's all you have to do. And hook up your, I guess, your Blue Yeti. Is that what you're using, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, just hook up your Blue Yeti and just go on Skype, and I'll call everybody in a second, and we should be good.
So should the phone not be using audio?
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it should be using audio. Yeah, right?
The phone?
Yeah. Yeah. Should be using audio because we should be able to hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It should. Yep.
Uh,
Is there a good? You need a tripod or something? I'm kidding. You need something in front of you. Yeah.
You have a daughter, don't you? Just have her hold it for you.
Yeah, that's true. Why not?
That would be the achievement of the century, to get her to stand still for like an hour.
It's obedience. I'm sure you could pull it off there. I think it would be quite an achievement.
Lesson in obedience.
I'll give you ice cream after, I swear.
Okay, I'm gonna do a Instagram on Bad Catholic Dads.
Let me try something. It might be easier for me. Hold on.
Wait. Stay here for just a second. Okay. Did you leave?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Ready?
I see your shoulder.
Okay. Yes. Oh yeah. Here, let's see. All right, there we go.
I see your ear.
All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, guys? John from Bad Catholic Dads. We're recording episode 58, where you get to meet our new hire. Derek, say hi.
What's up?
And Chris, welcome
What's
to
up?
Bad Catholic Dads. Come join us. Go to the Facebook, our Facebook or our Twitter.
Guys, John from Bad Catholic Dads. Yeah.
Got cut off. If you want to watch the video, we're recording live. Go to our Facebook, go to our Twitter, go to the link, and you'll see it there. Bye. If you want to watch the video. Okay, cool. You can go.
All right.
So it's Google Hangouts, huh? Is what we're gonna have to use.
Yeah, because I think on Facebook you can't do like a 3-person thing. You can only do a 2-person.
Yeah, I was like trying to look up some stuff on it. I didn't see anything.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? John, doing Back Half the Dads. Gonna be doing interview with our new person, which we just hired, quote unquote. Of course, we have Derek with me, but you guys know Chris, I think. And Chris, say hi. Hey, what's up, guys? John.
Okay. What's up?
Could be good.
Wait, Chris, which side am I on for you? Because you're to my I'm pointing
Go
to
to
you right
our Facebook. at Back Half the Dads.
You got me.
Twitter, at Back Half the Dads.
now. Okay, hi, all right.
It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time.
This guy.
Go to our Facebook.
No,
at Back Half the
this
Dads.
guy.
Go to our Twitter at Back
That
Half the
one.
Dads. If you guys want to join. It's gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a fun time. Go to our Facebook at Back Half the Dads, or go to our Twitter at Back Half the Dads if you guys want to join. It's gonna be. Okay. Cool.
I'm just hitting the mute real quick. Hold on a second.
Nope. I'm gonna call you guys.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna call you. Ready? I'm
Yeah,
gonna call you first, Chris. Where are you at? Chris.
Oh, on
There you
Skype.
are. Yeah. You good on Skype? Are you on Skype now?
Yeah.
Make sure my.
Fire away.
Hold on, give me a second. Camera. Speakers.
Call started. Bad and you.
Okay, I need to hold on. Put that away.
Can I just do audio? I just accepted audio. Is that fine?
Hold on, real quick. Something just ran. Something's weird's going on. Hold on.
I have a glare in my glasses. Do
Okay.
something about that.
Yeah. There we go. Try that now. Calling you, Chris.
Did I just accept audio?
Something. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm not hearing you. Hold on. Oh man, what did my son do? Can you talk? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on.
All right, I'm muted. There we go.
Hello? Are you guys on?
No,
Hello.
no.
Chris,
I'm
are
not.
you? Hold on. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh my god, some crazy's happening. Okay, sure. Let me try this. Boom, 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 boom.
Are you just not hearing me?
I think he sent it to. You can hear me, Chris, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
John, can you hear us? No, see, I think he's going through
ear. That's
Skype
weird.
for audio.
Yeah, I'm actually hearing that too. I'm only getting
Killing
one
me
ear. Unusual.
Okay. That's the YouTube video out, guys, real quick. Hold on.
The audio is still through Google Hangouts, or is it through Skype right now?
So is John not hearing you either?
I don't think you can hear me.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. Did you answer on Skype? Are you on Skype right now?
Not right now. I answered earlier.
I didn't answer it, so I'm not in that. I guess.
Huh.
He hung it up. So.
Oh, okay. So I missed it completely. All right.
It's already over, man.
It was a good show. Good show.
Go to sleep.
Hi, this is Chris. Good night.
It's nice to meet you guys. We'll see you next week.
Good night. Have a good morning.
It is a little weird that I can only hear on one ear. Are you getting that too?
Hold on, guys. Having some technical issues here.
See, I can hear through both right now. So.
Oh, there it is. I think that's just my headset.
Pushed it in all the way.
So we had we've got like some cleaning ladies that come through here. Wonderful women.
They chew on the wires.
They chew exactly. Dang wires. No, they totally crushed one set in a vacuum, and then
did it get sucked up in it?
They ran over. Yeah, and they ran over something that was attached to these. So
okay.
What the heck, man?
Yeah.
No, I got those. They chew on the wire.
I hate squirrels, and we had all these lights that were out in our backyard, and these stupid squirrels like ate the wires, and I was just hoping they'd be electrocuted, but they avoided any kind of injury. I was so disappointed. I just wanted to see like a charred skeleton of a squirrel, and these things have been destroying my life for so long.
You just need the one. You need the example.
I know. I need to trap it, and like it'd be like Braveheart, you know, get that table out to torture it. It'll scream freedom.
Oh,
acorns! I don't know. It'll scream.
Acorns. Fires for everyone.
Have you seen those remote control spinning bird feeders that when they try to attack it, they spin?
all right, we're good. Oh my
No,
gosh, that was weird.
Hey,
We still got
Okay.
Skype, though.
Wow. Sorry, guys. All right, we're back. All right, Skyping now.
okay.
Shot.
Skyping right now. Skyping right now. No, I want my song. No, this isn't my song. What is this crap?
Dun, dun, Dun.
There we go. That's
There
what
you
I
go.
want.
Dun, dun,
Derek, calling you right now.
dun, dun.
Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me? I'm
Derek,
joining.
answer. There we go. Okay, there we go.
I answered like, why?
I don't know.
Why was it not
All right.
doing it?
Calling you now.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh shoot! So I need to turn
No.
off the volume for something, right?
Oh,
Oh,
No, 'cause
yeah.
I'm
You
a
need
bit
to
later.
put headphones
Mm-mm.
on your phone and
I
just
answered.
like
I'm
put
waiting
it to the
for it.
side. That way you don't hear, or turn off your volume on your phone. That's all. That's what you need to do. Chris, same thing to you.
I'm not using my. Oh, okay. Let me just see this.
I'm in.
Hello,
Hello.
Can you guys talk at all?
Chris. Something's
Shoot.
wrong.
Because I'm going through my component.
There's something with your audio, Chris. I don't know what it is.
It might be because maybe I'm doing the same thing you are, Derek. Because I'm not using my
Oh.
phone here.
Chris, your audio sounds like it's coming out of your laptop. Make sure you set your Skype or your Skype to your microphone, your Blue Yeti. That or put your Blue Yeti closer to your face, or put the gain up. One of the two.
Okay. Hold on. You need to stop.
Honestly, it sounds like it's coming from your laptop because I hear like all the background noise.
And let me see.
And you're a little hot. You're a little hot, Derek. So if you turn your volume down or your gain down, one of the two. You know what I mean, Derek? Yeah, just mute one of them. Doesn't matter. I mean, on the video, it's going to be a little bit of a delay. From your phone? Oh, you're not using your phone at all.
I'm doing the same thing.
Oh, I thought you guys were using your phone for video. Okay. I don't know. Hold on, let me think real hard.
I could try. I just need to prop it up on something, I guess.
Yeah, I just need to click on something that's going to mute it. Okay, wait. I think
Don't mute your voice because then we won't be able to hear you on video. Does that make sense, Derek?
well, I'm coming through Skype, right? That'll.
Yeah, Skype will be for the audio, but for people watching the video, or when they watch the video, even if they watch it on demand, if you're muted, they won't be able to hear you.
Did I just did something? Did that help at all?
No, did not help at all.
Wait, it did help for me because I don't hear echoes.
What are you hearing, John?
I'm hearing like loud background noise. Like
Oh, you know
we're
what?
at the
Hang on a
beach.
second.
Sounds like we're at the beach.
All right, for some reason it's working now.
Okay.
Does it seem like it's working over there? I don't know if I jacked something up, but
No, sounds good to me.
Alright.
Let me see if you're on. Yeah, that's way better, Chris. I don't know what you did. That was way better.
So Derek, I turned down in the Google Hangout. I turned down the volume, not the mic, but just like the playback volume from there.
yeah. How did you do that? Where did you do that?
So if you go to the interface and then jiggle your mouse around, their little pop-up comes up at the very top.
Okay. Through Skype, you said, or
On the Google Hangout.
okay, interface.
How come all the
Mute microphone, no. Turn, no. Settings, maybe settings.
oh, that's bandwidth use. How about that?
Dang it, dude. Why is this echo?
How do I? Okay, I'm at Hangouts. How do I watch this? I wanted to make sure it's working.
YouTube Hangout?
Yeah.
Should be just your YouTube, the BCD YouTube channel.
All right, let me do that. Let me go back how it does. Hold on. Talk, Chris.
Testing, testing,
Oh, I'm gonna. All right, one more time.
testing, testing.
Huh. It sounds different. Actually the noise in the background just came back for some reason. It's really bad.
It's live on YouTube right now. I can watch it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Here.
Somebody dropped in and is putting kids to sleep now.
What happened? Who dropped in?
Disciple I am 84.
Oh, what up, Kevin? What's up, brother? That's one of my friends from California, actually. So there you go. There you go, California.
Good.
Yeah. I hold on. Let me record this and let me play it back to you guys because you'll be able to hear it, Chris. Okay.
Okay.
See that there's a noise that's like it's really loud. Here, I'll just shut up for a second. It's not there. Chris, talk.
Right now?
It's when you talk, it comes back. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna play it back. You'll be able to hear it. Ready? Can you hear it? Can you hear that? Chris, can you hear that?
Nope.
Can you guys hear any of that? Hold on, let me try playing the song.
No, I can't hear anyone.
Ugh. You should be able to hear it through Skype. Can you guys hear any of that? Hold on, let me try playing the song. No, I can't hear anyone. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
That music I just played? You should be able to hear it through Skype.
I didn't hear it.
That's
Okay, someone's
fine on YouTube Live, actually.
okay. No, that's what I'm saying. But ow. Can you hear that? That music I just played? I didn't hear it. Okay, someone's okay. No, that's what I'm saying. But ow. Bad Catholic
So
dads.
funny.
All right.
I accidentally bumped out of Skype.
Google Hangouts/YouTube Live. Thank you so much for being here. If you have a question, we're going to be interviewing our newest member to the rodeo show, Chris Batu. If you have any questions for him, please leave it in the comments below. And Derek, by the way, Chris, I don't know if you knew this, but Derek is like the ultimate Gregway person ever. It's awesome. We did the episode last week, and we got a bunch of comments on Facebook, which was really cool. And he just weaved them in the show so naturally, because usually we wait till the end of the show for comments and stuff like that.
That's
But
skills, man.
dude,
That's
Derek's got skills for that
the game.
You know what I'm talking about, Derek? Remember that last week?
Yeah. Hey, send me an invite.
Oh, Derek, I don't see you on
That's
Skype.
Send me
Is
an
that
invite. I backed out.
His audio's kind of low right now.
I don't hear Derek at all on Skype. You muted something on Skype, Derek.
Send me an invite.
Because this is Facebook.
He's asking you to send him an invite.
Yeah.
An invite. You're already in the call. It says you're in the call.
It can't be. I think I backed out.
Okay, I'm sending it
All
now. Okay, I'm sending it now. So this right here is YouTube Hangouts, Google Hangouts, but this is Skype, and that's what I care about more because of the audio.
I just need to figure out how to turn down the
There we
volume
go.
on one of mine.
You're good. Perfect.
You sound
Sounds
great
good. Yeah, you sound good.
Do I still sound like garbage?
I'm just getting an echoey, because I'm having the two audios coming at me.
You don't sound like garbage, but there is there's a beach like white noise in the background anytime you talk.
Oh. Interesting.
Okay. Have you figured it out, Derek, to get the echo out?
No, I'm gonna roll with it, just for now, because I have to figure out how to.
Chris figured it out. No.
It's different because he's going through his phone.
Oh.
The thing didn't show up like I had thought it would.
Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Chris, you can hear that? Okay.
Yep. Oh, you know what? I think this update has changed my interfaces, so now it's way to go, Windows. Way to go.
All right. I think we're ready. Hold on. Let me just pull up the Google Doc that I wanted to do.
I want to know how to turn down volume on individual pages.
You figure that out while
That's all I
I
want.
update this Google document. Maybe Chris can help you. That's why we got him, right? One of the things we got you for, Chris.
Yeah.
Welcome to what is the word I'm looking for? Tech support.
Tech
Tech
support.
support. Welcome to tech support for BCD. Dude, I would love to get someone that's really, really good. Video, like a video and audio pro.
Dude, where's
I
volume?
think. So what are you running right now, Derek?
I'm running like a page
Chris.
edition that's just
Chris.
Skype. It's Skype
Chris.
and Google Hangouts. So I'm just trying to
Are
figure
you
out.
on a Windows computer?
Yo, Chris, I typed your name Christ, by the way. Christ Batu.
Nice.
Actually, no, I lied. I typed your name Christ Bad. Oh, man. I wasn't even paying attention.
It's happened already. Are you on Windows or Mac, Derek?
Windows.
Okay.
And I have it open as a tab. Like I'm running Google Hangouts
Yeah.
and Skype as just two different tabs.
10. Okay. So
Yes.
go to
Well, I'm actually running through a Chromebook right now.
Not Windows 10.
not Windows.
Chrome OS.
I actually haven't used Chrome OS in a while.
I just want to figure out how to turn down one volume and then I'm golden. Like just from what I'm hearing.
Okay. Give me a sec.
I'm just trying to figure out how to mute one page. That's all.
Oh, you want a PC?
I use everything. I don't actually know. I lied. I don't use Chrome OS.
Okay. You might need to download something real quick.
Gosh.
But I think it'll do it for you.
You do it with Skype. Like one of the two. How is there no settings in Skype? That's the weirdest thing.
It doesn't give you anything for playback volume.
Can I mute you?
You could probably change to like the audio speakers.
Just have that off. You could have the audio speakers
Yeah, just
off.
change it to
If-
something else.
or
That's
change
not
it to-
gonna play
yeah.
back for you.
Change it to your webcam. I don't know.
I'll just deal with it.
Or you could. Where's our chat? Here, you could go. You could try.
I think your best
this.
bet is through Google Chat or Google Hangouts to turn that off somehow. You
See that link?
What is your role? What
Yeah.
do you hope?
All right, I'm opening it.
I think.
Is there for Google Hangouts?
Yeah, I think it'll give you volume control on tabs in Chrome OS.
It's loading. Volume manager.
I like the way you're
I like the
looking.
way it's looking.
I'm doing questions right
That's
now.
You can
oh.
do this. Come on. Checking.
You still hear a weird sound when I talk?
Yeah, dude. It's like just a white noise. Weird. Should be okay though. Whatever. Someone
Maybe-
moving their mic. I think it's your Yeti.
It's me. It's me.
You're like,
Yeah, I'm trying
Every
to.
time you move it, I'm like, whoa. It's all good though. It's all good in the hood.
All right, I'm just gonna leave it there.
It's added to Chrome.
And there's nothing there's nothing in this room making any noise.
Does the
right now.
does YouTube work that link, Chris?
I'm watching it right now.
Oh, sick. Let me watch it. Shoot, no. Does YouTube
Wait.
that link, Chris? I guess it does work, huh? Oh yeah. Oh no, I just unsubscribed from me. Let me watch it. Okay, I'm good. Bye, John. Hi, John. Bye, John. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I just unsubscribed from me. Okay, sounds good. Looks good.
It's so funny. I'm like hearing everything 3 times over.
All right, I'm good when you guys are good. Derek, let me know when you're good. Okay. Ooh, turn that off. Turn that off. Maybe you probably turn it off.
Oh, it's like, you know, I think it's actually the room.
Okay.
The room kind of, it gives a lot of like reverb in here or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
First successful tech support.
There you go. Hire justified. Hiring justified.
That's
There we
right.
go.
That's right.
Okay.
Paid my dues, guys. Paid my dues.
I think we look good. Move my camera closer to me. That looks good. That looks
Chris, I think it worked.
I look at the H3 podcast right now.
You look
Like,
professional.
I think that's it.
All right.
Whew, right
Yeah,
there.
I updated Google
Worth
Docs
it.
if you guys want to see it.
Worth
We
it.
have a show notes. Did I share it with you, Chris?
Show
No, I
notes?
haven't. I haven't.
think
I
so.
have not. Yeah, let me share it with you. Yeah, sending now. Derek, look at it. Let me know if you want to change anything or add anything. I mean, I just basically it's our normal vocation kind of story / questions. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Yeah, stuff like that.
Banter. Yes.
Gotta have the banter. I'm so excited. My banter is specifically for Derek, actually. So Derek, get ready.
All right.
Derek, are you good? You're like deep in train of thought, or like.
All right. I think that looks good.
Is it working?
I'm deep in reading.
This is like professional. It's not in my shirt.
Working.
Okay.
All good.
All
I
right.
think the next
All
time
right.
I'll
Let me
try
let
the-
it test
I'll try
recording.
the lav.
Recording. Next. Chris.
Recording? Testing?
Derek.
You testing. Remember when you like last recording where you were like waiting for me to do the intro and I didn't hear the music? And you were just awkwardly staring at me.
Yeah, dude. I totally remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Very good times.
That
Okay.
Let me
time.
get this
We're ready.
close.
Let's get
Maybe
it.
better.
Again,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining us on youtube.com/BackHathyDad/ Google Hangout / Chris's computer / phone. If you have a question or comment, please go ahead and leave that in the comment section. Derek is probably going to be the one looking at that, right, Derek? And he will interweave the conversation with the questions and comments and concerns. And
For all you night owls up in the East Coast.
yeah, it's probably way too late for people, but it's okay because
Hey.
you're watching it on demand. There you go. Welcome to the on demand. We have a giveaway that's already passed. Sorry. You ever see those on demand videos or like those videos that like you have to be part of the video in order to get the giveaway, but if you're watching like 4 years later, you obviously can't join.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not very evergreen.
What'd you say?
Not very evergreen.
Yeah, no. Okay, you guys ready? Everyone ready?
Yep.
Roll.
Yep.
I'm gonna just hit a pipe or something. Okay. Here we go. Derek, you want to lead this or you want me to lead this?
Do you want to? You lead it.
Dude, I lead the last 3, but okay.
Wait, I did. Oh, I thought I was doing the last one. Didn't I do it? I did the intro and everything.
No. When we were at my house, remember you were like, it's your house, your kingdom. Here you go.
Oh, true.
And then,
Did I do the intro though?
no.
I don't think so.
Okay. And then the one
Yeah.
before that, what was?
Dude, I did.
Did you?
I did because I was like,
Okay,
I don't
there's
know
only
music,
one
so, like,
way.
waiting for the.
To settle this, because I'm pretty sure I did the intro.
I remember saying that host thing though, for sure.
Time for the fact check.
Fact checks. Oh,
Oh.
okay. Let's go to 56. 56. Nope. 56. That was 57 last
57.
week. Oh,
It
you
was?
did 56. Oh, darn it. Okay. All right. Well, I did last one if you want to lead this one. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, do we get to bring back half beast, half machine back?
Oh gosh.
You remember that, Derek? Tell me you remember that.
Fish half machine. I'm like, what is that?
Machine.
No. Half beast, half machine. Come on, Derek, get with it. Okay, here we go. Where is that song? Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, night owls and early risers, welcome to another episode of Bad Dads. We are here with me, Derek Rogers, one of your hosts. We're also joined by the incredible, the Indominus Perez.
Well, just saying.
Mr. Incredible Indominus Perez. John Perez.
Thank you. What up?
And we have a very special. How special is
Can't even
this
say
person,
guest.
John?
That's how special he is. You know how normally we go, we have a special
That's
guest.
what threw me
Now
off.
we can't even say guest anymore. Yeah, a fellow Bad Catholic
Nice.
dad.
Fellow brother. The newest addition to Bad Catholic Dad.
What's going on?
Chris
I can't wait for
Batu.
my nickname, guys. I'm waiting.
Half beast, half
Something
machine.
inspired.
Chris Batu. That's a throwback. What a throwback, by the way.
The Meast.
Oh,
That
well,
was a long time ago, wasn't it?
We should probably tell the audience. Derek, how do we know Chris? How do we know Chris?
Yeah, Phil. I know Chris from back in the day when I first was introduced to the podcasting biz. I sat at a wonderful discussion table with a few gentlemen upon this podcast right now. I had met Chris. John, what
So,
about
actually, I think
you?
Chris, I
When
think
was
the
the
first
first time that you met Chris?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But my wife and Chris go way back through a youth group, which I'm sure we'll talk about in this episode. But after the engagement party came your wedding. That's normally what comes next, right after an engagement party.
Usually.
And then we started like talking about our love for video games. And then we started a podcast about video games. We got together and did that and got really close through that. And it's been awesome. And, life happens, but here we are. And I'm excited to be here with all of you, especially you, Chris. It's going to be awesome.
I'm stoked, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Jump into like learning more about Chris. For those new listeners, would just tell you what Bad Catholic Dads is. Bad Catholic Dads is, well, first and foremost, an Orthodox
Yes.
Catholic
Let's get that
podcast.
straight.
Okay?
Number one.
We're always going to start with that now. And we're a community of dads that really are just sharing in faith and this journey that we have as men towards heaven. So on this podcast, we talk about the daily struggles and daily triumphs of dads, and we hear from other dads. And, we have guests on the show, and it's been a really great ride. And in this process, we've always been trying to figure out how to help our community. And that's why we have this special new, and
Yeah.
before we jump into hearing some of the stuff, I just want to know, how are you guys doing tonight? It's kind of late for
Well,
everyone.
She's awake.
We have a
She's
total
real
of
late.
how many kids in bed right now? We have 4,
Yeah.
1, and
Why does
so-
she sleep late? Is it? I've never got that before.
Oh my
She
goodness.
sleeps late because they
You know, she
sleep.
sleeps
They
So-
both sleep in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so she's just kind of followed our schedule, and we're kind of night owls, so she just
Yeah.
kind of took to that.
Well, let's look ahead, right? Like, so Chris, his wife is Frances, and they have a daughter named
Io.
Io, and now you have a new one on the way, a baby boy named. You can share, right? It's public.
Yeah. Benjamin.
Named Benjamin. Now, see, first kid, you kind of just it's the schedule thing, right? Like it's like whatever. Like okay, like we could do a schedule. We can't do a schedule. It doesn't really matter, right? It's first kid. No one to go. You have a second kid, and I think
Yeah.
I don't know about Derek, but to me, that's when the schedule kind of kicks in. How are you guys feeling about having Io with a Benjamin schedule, or like what are your guys' thoughts on that? Have you guys even thought about that?
We haven't talked about it too much in depth. We're just now starting to kind of nest and get ready for Benjamin. So like we've made room in the room, and now we're gonna figure out the bassinet situation because we co-sleep with Io right now, and she's all over the place. But so Benjamin is just gonna have to hold his own in a bassinet or something.
Yeah.
So we figured out at least that much. But Io, she's a good sleeper. So even if we kind of move her around or change her or whatever, she'll sleep right through that most of the time. So,
Derek, what was your experience with having Kateri and then going from Kateri to Avila, like with sleeping? Yeah.
First one we didn't.
Yeah.
I don't think we knew what we were doing. So the sleeping schedule, it was a nightmare. We could never get her to sleep. And the second one was like getting better at it because we're like,
100%,
all right, in order to survive, we need to start figuring something out. And then we figured out some tricks. We put him to sleep, and that helped. When you get that bedtime and sternness, like you're going to bed, things start falling in place. And the third one, we got better at it, and it's point with 3. And then the fourth is like we're following in line what we did with the third one. So it comes to your like kind of on that survival thing because you're getting to the point where it's like it'd be nice to have an evening just to sit and talk with my wife and then maybe watch a movie, and like you can't watch like these blood and guts movies or love movies. I mean, the kids are going to pick up on that. So the early bedtimes have helped a lot, but it was definitely the second one we started getting into it, and the third one we're like we need to do this. So we're going to be Isaac right now is co-sleeping. Just hit that one birthday, and we're like, okay, it's time to start doing the time where I'm putting him to sleep and making sure he's falling asleep in another room. So it's always fun. That's the time where it's like kind of exhausting for me because I start camping out in his room to make sure he gets used to it. and then it's like that way. Everyone will be in their nice bed. So
Frances also works. She doesn't work right now, so she's a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, so it's not like she needs to get up at any particular time. So right now, especially when because she's so far into pregnancy, it's like she needs all the sleep she can get. So it's been really good to just let Io sleep late and then sleep in with her. They get a ton of sleep, so it's fine for them. I've been able to manage off of not a lot of hours, but we'll see what happens when Benjamin shows up.
For those that are listening, welcome. If you have any comments, shoot something down in there. Lance had posted that he's like, "Hey, I'm just passing through, just coming in to say hi."
How are you guys looking at these comments, by the way? Hey, I'm looking at the Google thing.
I had the chip.
Oh, no, you messed up, Derek.
So if you look up, you can see it.
No. Big brother.
It was one of those Google prototypes.
Once you're in, man. That's it.
Yeah, just locked it. John, I want a little insight to why we feel like it's time to move towards a trio in this podcast. And just to let the audience know, I know you and Chris go way back, and you can kind of explain the evolution of where we're going and why we wanted to bring this third person.
When we announced bringing Chris onto the team, basically. Over the past, so we've recently just hit a year, which has been incredible. Derek, incredible? Is that the right word? Incredibles 2. Yeah, it's been great. Like our goal for year number 1, right, for BCD was to hit a consistent and quality podcast each and every single week. And we, for the most part, minus a couple weeks like here and there, we hit that. We feel like we both hit that. And that was really the most important thing. And along with that consistency came growth. Consistency. What did I say? Consistency came growth. Came listeners. Came followers. Became friends of the show, which has been really cool. A lot of awesome guests. And there came a point where, it wasn't just all about the podcast anymore. It was about how we could, get more people to listen to the show or get more people to interact with us through social media or through just sending messages. And like we've gotten. I don't know, Derek, I don't know if you saw, but we've gotten awesome messages over the past year, and I feel bad, but have no time to get back to you, or maybe I was like, okay, I'll come back to it later, and never got back to you. Like I think we had an awesome message a couple weeks back. I don't think I still got back to him, but I will, promise. If you're listening, I promise I'll get back to you. But basically we had a lot of awesomeness in the podcast with the podcast itself, but we're not only a podcast, we consider ourselves a podcast community. Is that, that's kind of what we
exactly
see that we have community through a podcast, through talking with each other, talking with fellow Bad Catholic dads. And it came to a point where Derek and I, this isn't our full-time job. We have, not only do we have our own families to take care of, we're husbands and we're dads, but we also have full-time jobs that are very demanding when they are demanding. And then with the time that we do have, we want to spend with our families, or we want to spend it doing leisure things. And, BCD, of course, is something we're always working at, but, we don't always have the time for. And one thing that I reflected on this year, or kind of in the past like 6 months or the past 4 months at least, has been, okay, I'm looking at these other brands, these other communities, and I'm like, okay, like they're doing such a great job. Part of the reason is because they're killing it on social media, and I don't think social media is like the end all be all. I think that, I don't know, I subscribe to the thing where it's like, if you're building something great, people will come. Like, it might not be a lot, but people will come. But I do agree, and Derek agrees with me, that social media is a huge part of communication and getting people to show up to your quote unquote community or your quote unquote show, right? And so, and I don't have the time, and I know that this podcast would be so much. It's good, and I think we're at a good place. We've got a good following. We've got a consistent following. If you look at our numbers, they're consistent through the year. Mm-hmm. But I know it could be so much better, and really it's we want to keep growing this community to do amazing things, for God and with God and for other dads who might not have something each and every week to talk about their faith or with all the things that dads have to do. So basically, I know that we announced we wanted to hire someone new, or we wanted to get someone on the team that's brand new. I think Chris, I told you that I was interested. You have to fill in the blanks for me, Chris. I honestly don't remember, but I know that I told you, or I told a bunch of people that I was interested in getting someone for something like that. And you had reached out to me, I believe, with the interest there. Of course, I wanted like a little background too. I was looking at a bunch of different people that I knew that would be a good fit, but also I wanted to throw it out kind of on the ether of like, okay, like who could contribute? Like anyone really.
Yeah.
Anyone who's willing and has the heart for it. But it's so funny because we talk about kind of the Holy Spirit and how the Holy Spirit moves throughout the podcast or through this podcast. You can see it last week or a couple weeks when we interviewed the bishop. You can see it throughout the year when we look back on our year. And for some reason, your name kept coming up, Chris. Like it was really like kind of weird in a way, just because we had worked together previously on another podcast. And from that, we went our separate ways and didn't really come back together, or didn't really like talk as much. And then more recently, of course, like we've like just the constant conversation of just like you being back in like a what's the word I want to say? Like in just like a kind of just there, right? Like just there and talking to Derek and talking to me and and our families, of course, are close. That's how I know Chris very well. Our families are close. Our wives are close.
Yeah.
And just the Holy Spirit just kept saying, hey, like Chris, like we've worked with Chris before. We know Chris has these so I don't know if we have to talk. Did we talk about it, Derek? Where I know I'm talking a lot, by the way. Sorry. And Derek and I had a really heart-to-heart conversation about this topic in the parking lot after we met the bishop, after we interviewed the bishop. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him how worn out I was with all of this social media stuff. And I know how much better it could be. And not for myself and not for the podcast, but really for someone who needs it out there, and I knew just how badly I wanted someone new to come on the show to facilitate that role of helping me with social media, helping me build the community, helping us build the community, helping Derek and I with the day-to-day stuff. Yeah, the Holy Spirit kept pointing me towards Chris, and it was really interesting because, and I'll say this in full transparency, like when we ended things at our old podcast, like like it sucked for me because our friendship. And now I told Chris already, he knows this already, but our friendship kind of took a backseat. There needed I think some I don't know on your part, Derek, but for me there needed some serious healing there. And the cool part is like, Chris, like how many times have I emailed you to do something like together, right? Like, or like how many times did I contact you to maybe like get you on another podcast or something like that?
Yeah.
Because like it's so funny because I look back on it and I remember so many times I'm like, I want to work with Chris again. Like I want to work with Chris again. It's weird that came up throughout this past year, like of just how many times I said like, man, like I hope I have the opportunity to like just work and do something with Chris again, right? Like and it's funny because here we are, like and you have the like one thing that Derek and I kept saying was, we want someone with those skills and those abilities, to come in and help us with those stuff. And if you look at everything that you've done, whether it's through, and you'll talk about it, I'm sure, whether it's through your Beachbody and coaching stuff, or with what we did last together, or with your job that you do today, your full-time job, you can easily see how your skills and your abilities and your talents and the gifts that God gave you. That's another kind of theme that came up, and Bishop Burbridge actually brought it up, right? Like just paying attention to the gifts and that God has given us. All those things like just spoke to what this podcast needs, So yeah, there you go.
I think, and I want to just piggyback on a couple things. First of all, I think the hire of Chris makes a lot of sense for you and I, because he is someone that in our lives with that, like that moment back in the early, company podcast that we did, I was able to meet Chris and get to know him a little bit. It's someone that you knew really well. And it helped with kind of building rapport and understanding this. So in that way, it made a lot of sense. I think like that talk in the parking lot after, it was just one of those things where it felt like we needed to add a third person.
You see the 14 million different
there's those times, outcomes. And I've glimpsed into the future, fellas. When your kids start getting older, when they start getting older, like, and then there's more of them, your time all of a sudden starts whittling down a lot. And it's not that you're sad about it. It's just like your day becomes more full, and I don't know, your timing starts changing for things. And so, and there's going to be times where one of us, any of us, with our kids, there's going to be something that comes up, or the way our relationship is with our wives. There's going to be a time where one of us needs to, like, I need to tag out for a little bit because I'm not able to work this week or this because I need to do this or I have to do this. Chris had to fill in like one of those spots if we need someone to step up for one of us, if we need to take a step down as dad, because that's our vocation right now. And like you said, this is not our full-time job. And as this hobby, something we enjoy in this community we want to build, we want to keep that consistency. And so I think having someone that you and I both know with the skill set to be able to tag in when needed, like to step up, that's a big thing for me. And from working with Chris, and the way, like you mentioned, with the things that he does with just, you can tell that he's a fully capable dad in helping with these things. So for those people that are working on like their passion projects or stuff that you're doing that is not your full-time job, keep doing that thing because you stand out in those moments. Like Chris, with your Wabi Sabi stories, like it was so cool that you did that. And I think by doing that, it also like stuff. And so for any dad out there, you don't know who's like really watching and like what community you'll be brought into because of your passion and your individual desire. And like all that stuff added up to like, this person would be a really great team member for Bad Catholic Dads in whatever way we want to develop, because we want to show the action. Like we can say a lot of words, but we want to show action that we are more than a podcast, and we're building into a community, a fellowship. And I feel like having another person, especially that can see things a different angle, is going to help us.
Thank you guys so much.
In a lot of ways. So
you guys are.
Like said, we had that really great discussion in the Bishop's parking lot, in the basement of John's house.
You guys are totally right though. Like I was
before the one podcast and
pointed in this direction too.
It felt like that's the right time. And like John was saying, the spirit felt like it was moving. All the hardships that we were having was moving toward kind of life-giving opportunity. First time around,
it was difficult.
John and I want to thank you.
I didn't like either that our friendship kind of took a back seat, because I did miss that, and that what you're saying, Derek, about got people following their passion and just putting stuff out there. I used to tell that so I'm sure I'll tell you guys about this later, but when I was doing the coaching thing, I used to tell my team that all the time, because some people would feel like what they were doing was just kind of pointless and didn't have like nobody, why would I do this when nobody's listening? And I thought, you don't know, like people are listening and people are watching, and you just don't know that, because they're not always going to tell you that. They're not always going to let you know that what you're doing is actually making a difference, but one day they might. And even if they don't, when you do something that's positive and trying to add value to someone, it's going to be worth it somewhere down the road to somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
A message that's got to go out there, and you may never hear about it, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah. There's one thing I want to talk about,
and you might not even hear.
And we'll talk about kind of like what Chris is going to be doing for us, like, and a lot of it has to do with like a lot of the day-to-day
go ahead, John.
But one thing that I wanted to talk about too before any confusion starts, we have some miscommunication and stuff like that, is really so Derek and I are really still going to be running the podcast part of it, right? Like we're still going to be doing each and every single week. You'll be hearing our voices. So Chris really is going to be our building the community and everything that goes into that, so he won't be on every single episode, unless like a million people just email me, hey, more Chris. All right, like give the people what they want.
We've seen an influx of like
every single week, you know what I mean? We get 1 million listens. Chris is on every single week.
That's the benchmark?
That's the benchmark. No, but Chris add values in so many different ways, including his voice. And it was like Derek said, I won't be able to make a podcast. Derek probably won't be able to make a podcast here and there, or when it gets really busy, I'm sure Chris will just fill that in. And we know that the best part is we've worked with Chris before, and we know that even if one of us aren't on the show, Chris is very capable of being a co-host on the show, or hosting the show. So, and we've all talked about our roles, and I think one of the cool parts about this go around with BCD is just we're like in constant communication. We understand like our past failures and how much communication is key. You know what I mean? So, just wanted to like clarify that, like. Because I didn't know if people are going to be like, oh, are they adding a third host like every week, or like what's going on? So I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, it's good clarification. So I think it's about time to hear about Chris and like where he's from, growing up, parents, all the good stuff that we really like hearing. So Chris, start us off, man. Who's Chris Batu?
All right, so I was born in Houston. I lived there for 6 years, but I still kind of consider it home. Came over here to the Northern Virginia area and been here ever since. My parents they're amazing. So they're just, I didn't realize this when I was young, but they're stellar. And I mean, and back then when we moved here, we only really had family here. So we lived with our cousins for a while, and then after that moved out onto our own. But then my parents kind of hooked up with some other Filipino people, friends, and started their own little ministry. So they had, and to be honest, I don't even know if it was Catholic. It might have just been Christian. But they had started a community with their friends, dragged all of us kids there, as usual. And I didn't appreciate it back then at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I was the guy I'd be bringing like my Game Gear because that's when it was like it was that far back.
Oh my gosh,
Chris, rule number one of any podcast: you don't date yourself with things.
Oh hey,
I'm just kidding.
I had the Game Boy, right? Game Gear, man. That was the Sega stuff. Couldn't touch that.
way over
So
price. But
funny.
I was bringing that around, and then because I was like, I don't really know what's going on. Like they're singing, they're clapping, they're doing their praying, and because I was not tuned into that. But they did it, and they did it consistently, and I actually met my there's another family there that had young boys too, and we became like the best of friends through that. And it's crazy now, like the older that I am, I look back and I'm like, they had so much, all of that had so much had a huge impact on me that I didn't realize was ever going to happen. Like my dad sings, and that was kind of what brought them together. So the parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
the parents all, they had a band. They had a regular just like pop music. Well, not pop, but rock music band that they were playing, and then they kind of moved that over into being a music ministry, and they were amazing. And it really kills me now because my friend's dad, my uncle, quote unquote, he came down with ALS, and now he can't sing anymore. And so it really, we still go over there every once in a while, and then we kind of have jam sessions with them. But not to hear them, like there's three of them, like three main guys, to not hear the three of them harmonize like I'm used to, it just like it kills me. But
what is something that they would play or sing? Would it be anything that I would know, or any popular songs?
A lot of it was
like
Filipino
what would
stuff.
to
be honest,
do?
I'm trying to remember the book they used to use. Their group stuck with one of these, one of the main like music ministry books for a long time. And then my dad was kind of the one who was like, we should be singing some other stuff too. Like there's great music out there that we're just not paying attention to. And that actually kind of frustrated him in a few ways. But so he's doing a lot of other stuff now because they moved. I mean, this is all kind of fast forwarding a little bit for them, but they moved to Vegas for a long time and came back. And my dad had stepped away from their ministry for a while. And now he's back. And but now he's like feeding all this other stuff into the group that he's with. They're all back together again, and there's more of them. And he's still kind of leading the music ministry. So he's like injecting all this new music. It was cool. I think it was last Christmas actually. My present to him, I bought 10 songs that I was like, I'm pretty sure he has not heard these. So I bought 10 songs for him, and I got all the sheet music, and I was like, here, Dad. And it was like this little like a little business envelope, He was like, what is this? I was like, just check it out. So he was really down with it. And one of the songs, he was like, I'm going to play this for your uncle, the one who can't sing anymore. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he's going to love this.
Yeah.
But they're tremendous. My parents are very, 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 very strong in their faith, very, very humble. They were wonderful. Like they didn't, as much as they brought me there, they didn't like push that on me,
So all the way that you've known them, they've been very religious.
Yes.
Okay.
There was the only time, and it amazes me. Like my mom has gone through quite a lot of like health issues. Majority of it stems from diabetes. She's been strong all throughout that. So she's had multiple strokes. She's lost vision in one eye. She's had a couple of bad infections, all this stuff. But she's great. Like she's kicking. She's great. And she's been strong in her faith all through that. My dad had a shaky period because he actually contracted cancer, which they were able to remove. But when it happened, boy, he was having all the doubts, all the questions that that come to you. He had all that, and it was really tough for him.
Yeah.
But in the end, it didn't really shake him.
Was it? Now, were you? I'm sorry, I might have missed.
I have one older brother.
You the only child, or do you have siblings?
And he had kind of. So he was he was old enough to not have to go with them. So he wasn't really there for all that.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he
But
was
he's
able to miss
still
out on
like
that. Okay.
he's great with his kids, you know.
Do you see?
They go to church every week and everything too.
Okay. I was curious if that void of the time not going there with you with your game gear and him at home.
He's practicing,
like
yes.
if that had changed, like
mean,
kind of your.
Never
But
really
it sounds like
about it
he's
depth,
still
so I
practicing.
can't really tell
Catholic.
you. But I went on from there to go into a youth ministry, a youth group. He never did anything like that. So I mean, he's still. They're very like they send their kids. They sent their kids to Catholic school for grade school, I believe. And so they do everything they can, and they're very good about encouraging prayer and stuff like that. But again, we've never really talked about our faith in depth like that.
Yeah. Was you being slid over to the youth ministry? Was that like you're like they're telling you like, look, Chris, you got to go to this. Go.
It was,
or was
so
that
was
kind of
15?
Was it an invitation?
A really
or
good
how
friend
did
of
that
mine
work?
invited me to come. So it was a retreat. It was one of those, hey, you guys, there's a lot of cool people here. You should come. Yep.
They gotcha.
I got totally, I got suckered into one of the retreats. You know, the camp invitation. That's how they got me.
Yeah.
But I loved it.
Hey, let's go camp. Let's go camping for a weekend. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
S'mores and campfires, and then you show up.
It is cool though. Those friendships that you can make there, and it's just so different than, I don't know, a lot of things that you're used to doing as a teen. It is cool to go through that kind of transformation with other peers. You know, that's really awesome. So you went through that. Did you stay on to graduating through high school?
I think I was active in the youth group for maybe 4 or 5 years. And I was like heavy into it. That was essentially my identity during all that time.
Could you speak to your experience there and how? Because can you actually draw a picture? Really, is what I want you to do. Because talk about your faith. You know, your parents. You said your parents forced you to go to these. You know, these meetings. I'm sure they had, or these praise and worship kind of things. But also like, what was your faith like then? And then how did it change when you went to the youth group? And then talk about your experiences there as well.
Well, the difference there was that, so like you're saying, it was my peers. So I wasn't there surrounded by a bunch of adults. It was my friends and other people my age. So people going through the same, similar issues to me. And that, but at the youth group, it was about me really like experiencing this and coming to terms with what's really going on, and not just kind of, because in my parents' prayer group, if I was going to say something, they would just prompt me to say something and it would come out, but, and I'm not going to share all the teenage things with my parents or their friends. That's just not going to happen.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure.
But in the youth group, it was like, well, what is, because those are such formative years, 15. This is so many things are happening at 15.
Good and bad, right?
Yeah. So, well, it's like so then I'm trying to figure out, well, who am I really going to be, and how much does this stuff really mean to me, and then if not for the youth group, to be honest, like, because there at the youth group during a praise and worship or something like that, or during a prayer over, it's like I felt it, like I really felt the difference, I'm one of those. I've been reading a lot of books about my personality type. Apparently, I'm very empathetic, so I get a lot of feels from things. So I'll cry at stuff and all that kind of stuff. I feel everything. So when I was at these sessions, like I felt it all, and it meant a lot to me to have experienced that, But I also know like I have some of my friends that were also there throughout the entire time that I was. They had a much more difficult time, like, letting go, and opening up to it. And so the impact wasn't quite as strong for them. But for me, I felt it, and I was able to just kind of let it happen to me, and that really, it became a defining piece of who I am, and then my parents' group probably never would have got me there.
Did that transform and carry over to college development for you, like in your faith life? Because our listeners have heard, John's and my experience, like into college, and the emotional impact. Because sometimes they're like, well, you shouldn't have an emotional impact because there'll be times that later in life you won't feel that emotional connection, and you want to make it more, of a mental connection. And did you find that you're able to continue that feeling, or did that develop into something different?
It definitely changed. So when I left the youth group, I didn't have anything else to go to at that point. And kind of like you were saying, like I never, well, I still haven't really felt that same kind of connection at a church. Yeah, it's just very different. Yeah. And so without not being surrounded by it in a youth group and in that community, it was like it changed. Actually, it changed a lot, because for a lot of those years I wasn't very practicing much at all, to be honest, for a long time. And I've never gone to Catholic school, so it's like I don't have that kind of environment. I didn't work in that, in the faith ministry at all. So if I wasn't putting myself into that environment, if my parents weren't encouraging me to do that, then I wasn't going to get it at all. And that's kind of what happened.
Explain how after high school, what that transition then was like for you, just maybe professionally. Like, how did that start developing? And eventually you kind of caught back up to your faith, right? Or your faith caught back up to you. What was it like graduating high school into college? Was there important friendships that were made back, or how did that happen?
Professionally, I did a pretty... I was a commuter at a local college, so I didn't really build
connections.
I stuck with a small group of close friends that I already had.
Okay. That you knew from high school, or
same guys that I knew since my parents' ministry. So we knew each other since we were like 9. So
okay. So
really old friends, and very, very close. And they were in the youth group with me too, so they were there too, but they had also left. So we weren't like supporting each other in that way at this particular time either. We were just getting into normal young adult type stuff. I was working at school during the time, and when I graduated, I took a consulting job for a couple years, and I just kind of started adulting, I guess, because after we graduated, my brother and I moved out together. So then it was just two of us in our own place, and then my parents were in their own place.
That's awesome, man. To be like, so just living with your brothers away from home, like that's an experience I've always thought of as an amazing dream, and I've never had that opportunity.
That'd be so cool,
man. Totally, the dynamics are different. You know, like I would so love. How was it living with your brother then?
My brother's amazing. Like he really is. We're 5 years apart. When we were young, we never really fought. We have he has we would just play fight, and that was pretty much it. The one thing I really hated though was he used to tickle me all the time. And,
are you man? I mean, we know you're in touch with your feelings, but
all the feels, man. No, but it was so bad. We had this little futon fold out thing, and he would push it out and again out from the wall, and then shove me in the crack, and I would just be utterly helpless, and I hated that to no end.
Gosh, that's so funny.
But there was this other thing, so if you ever meet my brother, or John, if you ever see him, if you look at his nose, there's a little tiny bluish speck on it.
Okay.
That you might be able to see.
Okay.
And, I've got one on my. I've got one on my close up
to him next time. Be like,
yeah, real close.
Yeah, really.
When you're going in for the bro hug, you just gotta kind of turn your face.
Yeah.
Are you trying to kiss my nose? Yeah.
But I have a blue.
Chris, I want to know what it is.
I got a tiny little blue mark on my toe somewhere. But we were just play fighting, and we just ended up stabbing each other with pencils, and it left.
Oh, that's naturally.
Whatever's in hand, and now we have these.
Naturally, Derek.
I'm actually surprised I don't see blue marks more often. You know what I mean?
So you gave yourselves a tattoo. It was
Exactly,
like your first
exactly.
brother.
Yeah, naturally, the brother tattoo. Everyone has one.
Everyone has it. Once you start
You're gonna get
tickling your
tattooed.
brother, at least a stab. Wait, so you
I got him
he
in the
stabbed you in the
face.
foot like a gentleman, and you stabbed him in
I
the
got him in
face.
the
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't trust little
That's
brothers,
cool.
man. They
I
fight
probably
their
got away
brothers.
with it too. I don't remember, but I probably got away with it too.
I've always dreamt that, man. That'd be so cool. Like, but my brothers were like way younger than me, and they always just like live with my parents. And so when I started, like, when my brother was finally like old enough to like live on his own, I'm already married. Like, oh
Yeah. Well, so like it was really awesome living together, and it's funny actually. After like a lot of different changes professionally, I ended up living back with him for a short stint. But because we're 5 years apart, and we kind of have a way of just sticking to ourselves,
Mhm.
you know. And it's not like like we're close. If something ever needs to happen or we got to talk about something, we can certainly do that. But we're not like always in each other's business.
Yeah.
But when we were younger, we had like two completely different sets of friends. But now, like when he married, his wife is a year older than me, so her friends have joined his circle, and like I know a lot of them. So
okay.
But even then, like,
Wow.
they have such a huge circle of friends, and it's amazing. Like man, when they get together, they have tons of friends. They all have kids, and they're all just all over the place. I'm like, man, you guys are so insanely busy. But he's a fantastic father. He's a great brother, you know, great man. So he's someone that I've always looked up to and respected. You know?
Yeah. No, that's always, if you can get a solid brother relationship, man, that's awesome. I'm always happy when I hear those stories. They're inspiring, and I can relate to that, or wish that they had maybe a moment like that where they can stab their brother in the face with a pen.
I still want
and
to stab my brother in the face
be
with a pen. I'm
loving.
cool with that right now.
Pencil. You gotta hit him. You gotta hit him with a pencil.
Yeah,
You
we're
gotta
gonna
get
see the
some lead in
stabbing.
there. Yeah, it's the lead. You gotta get the
It's
lead.
a pencil. Got you. Yeah.
Go ahead there.
I want to start
buddy.
hearing about relationship that ended up happening. So tell me this: did you meet this wonderful bride of yours?
That's a great little segue. So at during this time, this was when I was coaching. So I was a Team Beachbody coach doing health and fitness.
Okay.
I did that.
Shout out to Sean T, by the way. Can we shout out Sean T right
Shanti's
quick?
Oh, you know he's gonna release something new next year.
Dude, he's amazing. It's crazy.
20-minute workout.
Who is this
20
Sean
minute
T?
workout.
Shantae?
That's so
Dude, man, John,
yeah.
you man, working out with him, bro,
Yeah, dude.
is
So Derek, Sean T
it's
is
hard
the guy.
enough in a video,
Yeah.
but when that guy is in your face,
yeah.
and you're like, you really want to just take a break, and he's right there, and you're like, okay, I really can't right now.
I believe it. So Derek,
Man.
Sean T is the guy who created Insanity and a bunch of other workout programs. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Really?
incredible, dude. Like I work out, or when I worked out, don't work out anymore. When I worked out, like, and when I was in the best shape of my life, I was doing Insanity, and even just watching him on video, it felt like he was in your face, like just talking to you, like you can do it, like, and like more than just like you can do it, but like actually like I believed it, you know, and got me through a lot of workouts. He's awesome. And I heard he's like a business mogul now. He has like a million businesses. Like, just someone was saying that.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised. But so I was coaching.
How does one get into? I never asked you this, but how does one get into coaching Beachbody?
Oh, you just sign up.
Okay, you're just like, or what interests you?
So let me tell you how that started, though.
Yeah.
So I met someone at random. I think it was on Facebook, and I was doing P90X at the time, and so I was just talking about it, and I didn't even know that there was anything. I didn't know that coaching even existed. So when I was talking about it, this random woman from our local area contacted me. We were just talking about it, and we ended up meeting up at a bar in Clarendon, I think. And she was like, "Hey, did you hear about this?" So she had heard about coaching, because it's a network marketing thing, right? So she's like, "Did you hear about this?" I was like, "No, I haven't." And she had another friend who was also there, and we were just kind of discussing it. And she was like, "I'm thinking about trying it out, but I don't know if it just sounds like a scam or whatever." And I was like, I don't know, but we'll see what happens because it was so brand new. And then I love to like really dig into stuff and read about stuff and study things. So I dug into it and I was reading everything. And at the time, I had worked out by myself for a while, and I had eventually dragged in these same guys that they're like forever a part of my life, right? I dragged them in to work out with me, and I was like, this workout's it's gonna destroy you, but you're gonna be happy about it later. So they eventually did it with me, and we're all into this, like we're all like, yeah, we should get healthy and get really fit. And then I studied this whole thing, and I was like, guys, I think we should try this. Right? Like I think it's legit. You have all the negative stigma of network marketing, but I think it's legit, right? So we decided to just try it. And one day we were in the basement of my house after a workout, and we were just sitting around like, what are we going to do with this thing, right? And we made a joke. We were like, we should just make a team, right? Start to build a cool team, and we'll just call it That Team. Wouldn't it be so funny if we called it That Team? And then we went to like a conference, and they're like, hey, look, it's That Team. And we decided to just do it, right? So the name stuck, and we stayed with That Team, and we thought it was just going to be something really stupid, but it ended up becoming like a really awesome community for us. And I think the key around it was that we built a mission at the beginning, and it had nothing to do with like commercial or financial success, right? We were just like, I'm kind of upset I can't actually quote it right now, but I'll try. It was something like, that team's mission is to champion others to grow personally, professionally, and physically, maybe something like that.
Paternally,
with compassion, engagement, and an unshakable belief in their potential. That's what it was. And so we put it on a and so that was what we were gonna do. So it had nothing to do with like, I'm going to sell a ton of stuff or I'm going to build a huge team. Right? I'm just going to help someone get better. And then we made some shirts. We put it on the back of the shirts, and we started meeting other people. And it just grew into this amazing thing. So Beachbody, and this is all like way in the beginning. So when I signed up, each person is assigned an ID, right? I always tell people my coach ID is only 4 digits long, and they're like, everyone else that signs up now is like 6 digits. They're like in the hundreds of thousands by now, and they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, yeah, I was there before any training existed and all this other stuff, and and back then it was small, right? So it was like we went to the first conference, and there was like a half dozen of us. We're like, I don't know what's going on. We're like, we just kind of brought ourselves to this thing, but it was the people that we met were really awesome. We decided to stick with it. The next year we came back, and we had like multiplied our numbers. We had coordinated shirts and everything, and we were like loud and almost too obnoxious. Almost.
You're getting to be odds that.
But we never did that, right? We got just far enough where all the staff recognized us, and we had this huge logo. So like everybody, when you saw it, you knew who we were.
That's the best place to be.
Yeah, and it was
almost obnoxious, but not there
exactly. It was amazing because like all the staff were like, "Hey, it's That Team." They were like, "Hey, it actually worked," right? And like we grew and we grew and we grew, and then even all the big like mega teams that were out there, some of them, the leaders of those teams, were like mentors to me, and they're like, as we have huge teams and we have all this success, like, but we don't have what you guys have for some reason, and I was like, we're a family, and that's really all I can tell you, is we built a community around this mission, and that's what everyone believes in. That's what we work for, and that's it. So like we would, like they were big on organizational teams. We were just like, I don't care where you are. I don't care what team you're on. If you want to be a part of something that's worthwhile, you can come and be with us. And so we ended up adopting all these other people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we ended up having this like network, like this huge family of coaches all across the nation. There's probably, I think all told, there was probably a couple thousand of us by this time.
Man.
It was awesome.
Were you guys all
Anyway.
coaches, or was it just like people part
all
of
coaches,
all different
all coaches.
areas, or like in this Northern Virginia area?
No, all over the country.
Wait, so
Awesome.
oh man, so you built that?
We did.
That team built that, dude.
We did. It still stings, man. It still stings that it's not there anymore.
Do you think? Okay, well, is it that mission statement you had and it resonated enough? It was probably a combination, right? It was a good mission statement along with people that worked together, a good core.
Yes.
Like, is that what do you think was the main success for building something like that? Because it's hard not to make the correlation of what with that message into like. So, like, what is it? Is it the mission statement? Is it the core squad?
You nailed it. So it was exactly that. So we had the mission, which defined everything about what we were going to do and how we were going to approach it. But then, so these guys and I, we were called. People eventually called us the Core Four because there was 4 of us that pretty much ran everything and organized everything. So we were holding monthly like workout and cookout events. The 4 of us put them all together. When we were doing training and stuff like that, or we were going to lead workouts, the 4 of us would be doing that together in some fashion. And so if anybody had questions about anything, it was going to be to one of the 4 of us. And so we were like the heart of it, to be, and then like the people that we attracted were attracted to us because of the mission, but also because that was like we lived it. And so a lot of the people that
the other 3 had like just really passionate about it that was able to draw from those people too.
Well, it's funny, like we did a lot of personality test type things, and there was one. I think the book is called Personality Plus, which defines 4 major personality types, and we had one of each.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Just so happened,
going there.
We were missing the one, but it just so happened that we had one of each, so we were aware of that, so we could utilize it, to our advantage. But people could feel it from us, and I think that's what really made the difference. Because like one of our coaches, she was invited by a friend of a friend to come to our event, and she's like, I walked into that event, I didn't know any of you guys, and she goes, all I remember is that you came up to me as if you had known me for forever, and we were the best of friends. She's like, I got in, you gave me a hug, and it was like the most genuine hug, and I just felt like I felt like I walked into my family. And so for her, like that's what she clung to. That's what she remembers, and that's why she stayed, because she was like, these guys
welcome me.
It's it's not a joke, like they're sincere about what they're trying to do, and that's just to bring people in and help them, right?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Real quick, the authenticity I think is like a major role in that, and there's a lot of good lessons in what you're just saying right now, like that can be applied to a lot of things. Like, I definitely want to hear about to kind of hear how this ends. What it's going to be a lot of things, but can you specify what happened? Like why there was a death?
It all comes together.
What happened? Is there something that just brought to that?
Yeah, it all comes together.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So
I like it.
So we were doing all these regular monthly workouts, but then I had my own townhouse at the time. 2 of the other guys were living in there with me, so we were like headquarters, and the third one was there most of the time, right?
Chris, real quick.
Yeah.
Was this your full-time job at this point?
No.
Okay. All right. So you're still doing
it wasn't.
On the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was a passion thing I was doing on the side, right? But I was very passionate about it. So like my townhouse, my house was headquarters for us. The 4 of us worked out there all the time, but during this part of it, people were coming into the house. And actually, for a while, my parents also lived there. So it was like they were there supporting us and everything. And we had people coming in after work to work out with us like all night. So so we basically had like like time slots. We're like, all right, this is what we're doing at this time, and this is what we're doing at this time. Let me know.
No way, that's crazy.
So people would just come and work out.
That's cool.
And my parents were awesome. They were like, "This is so great. You guys are awesome. Everyone's so nice and friendly." And of course, people just started inviting other people, and so the guys who live with me, they have a sister, a younger sister. She started coming. She brings her best friend, who is Francis. So we met. Well, actually, the very first time we ever met was during the summertime. We were doing barbecues every month, and we at the townhouse. And so we would have, like, on any given day, there could be anywhere from 30 to like 100 people that would come through the house, all because we were cooking all day long, right? This is an all day thing. The very first time I ever met her was because she came to one of those.
Oh, came to a barbecue. Okay.
Yeah, she came to one of those. But didn't think anything of it. We're almost 10 years apart in age. So at this point, I'm like, whatever. She came in with the younger group of people. Like, that's cool. Whatever. It's fine. You guys are all welcome. Hang out. We'll play Rock Band. It's good times.
So we should have done last weekend there. We should play on Rock Band. Bust out some
We should do that. We should
Indeed.
play some Rock Band.
And
So she didn't see her for a while after that. But then she started coming
great.
to work out with us with her friend. And it was at that point I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel things here. But it was a really tumultuous time, because to my friends, she was basically like a younger sister to them, because she was always at their house with their sister. They're like, this is kind of weird,
Oh shoot!
There was a lot of drama. That's all I'll say. But what it led to was like it had reached the point where I was like, you know what, guys, I know this is creating a lot of tension, and I had, like, it was rough, but I went to all of them and I was like, this is what's happening. I need to tell you this, like, in person, and we need to talk about this. If you say anything to me, go ahead and say it. But then I also told them, like, I'm pretty certain I'm going to marry this woman, right? Yeah. And so
early on.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I told them, I was like, if it comes to that, if that day comes, I'm going to choose her first. And so, yeah. So I said, I'm going to choose her first, because she knew me. She got to know me because of everything I was doing at Beachbody. And it was a lot. Like, I was involved in tons of stuff because we were organizing all of our own stuff. I was part of the leadership council for the whole DC area.
Yeah.
And I was going to, conferences and different trips and trainings and stuff like that. It was all that I was doing when I wasn't working. But I was like, I don't want to marry her and continue that, because I don't want her to feel like she comes after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I told them that straight up. I was like, if we're going to get married, I want her to know that. And I want her to feel that from me. So I will, like, I'm going to take a step back if that's what it comes to, because she's going to be first. And so that's how it ended up stopping. Was like, I told the team, and I told the team, I was like,
no way.
I have to do this for my family. I'm doing this for my life, for my wife, my life, and our future.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a step back, right?
Wow.
The problem was that I didn't groom anybody to come and take my place.
Okay.
And so, like, stuff was still happening, and stuff still happened, for a while, even without me. But it wasn't the same anymore, because I was kind of like to figure
the heart got ripped out in
my
many
mistake
ways,
was not
right?
preparing the team for that, the way that I should have. But that left a huge, like, not doing that, because that was, for me, it's like I kind of, like you guys are mentioning with the bishop. It's like I know that the Lord has blessed me with lots of different capabilities. I guess, and I knew that, like, I experienced that with the youth group, and I experienced that again in Beachbody. So it's like, I know that I feel best when I'm contributing to something that's valuable to people, where I'm doing something and I'm working on something that's really helpful to someone. And after this ended, I didn't have that anymore. And so I was like, I've been searching for something ever since, to be honest. And you know, we tried to, you know, the podcast about video games, and I tried my own project that I thought would get me there, but it still wasn't quite the same. But I was always watching you guys. You know, and I was just like, you know, it's just so awesome, like what they're doing, and I'm just really excited about it, and that's why I like to have this now. I was like, you know, I was all I was praying for back then was like, I'm just excited to find the next thing where I will feel that again, you know, where I will be able to contribute that way again and give value and be passionate about it.
Yeah,
and he kept pointing right at you guys.
What was it that stood out to you with the Beachbody? Like, what was the thing that you loved about it?
So I loved it because it was interesting because we approached it with this mission in mind, like always. But a lot of the stuff we went to was about network marketing, you know. So a lot of and that mean we didn't ignore the financial aspect of it. You know, that was certainly some goals for some of our people and even for myself. But it was the ability to really help someone change their life. Like I tell you, we had lunch with a friend just the other day, just last night. She, like, I think until my dying day, like what happened to her is probably going to be one of the greatest achievements of my life. She came to one of our monthly workouts after, and she was so drunk that like you could smell it coming off of her the next day, right? So she was trying to work out with us the best as she could, and she was just dying on the floor there, and you could smell it. And we're like, man, you're in a rough spot, right? And she
hungover workout, not the best,
but she still came, and then she heard that, you know, there were workouts at my house. She came to one, and it was just her and the four of us. So it was her and the core four. We did a workout together, and she just fell apart. Like she started crying after it, and she was just like, she was in such a bad spot. Like, man, I can't even tell you. Like, there's so many things that she was going through.
Yeah.
And maybe one day, if I get her okay, I can give you more of those details. But
yeah, no, sure.
She is such a different person now, and every time she gets the chance, she gives the team credit for that. Because she's like, you guys, you believed in me, and you were there even when I was, you know, not good to you. She's like, it didn't matter. You were there for me. You believed in me, helped me. And she's like, you saved my life. And I like that right there made it all worth it. And there's a few, like, there's at least a handful of different stories like that where it's like, you know, I know things fell apart in the end and it wasn't really that great, but we did a lot of great stuff that still to this day remains, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, I think a lot of it is it's really beautiful, actually. I mean, as an outsider seeing it, is that you had these passions to help build this empire. And from this empire, you found this love of your life. You also helped people in the process. You found this love of your life place. You started growing a new empire, which is your family right now, which is a really, like, it was all really like connected. That's like, it is a really cool story to see this constant growth. And like you're saying with your projects that you like it's all, this is leading to something too, you know, and that's that's really cool to just have that connection with everything. About this wife then of yours, like you did marry, and it turned out being correct. Like, how long ago did you guys get married? Was there any crazy like pop in the question, you know, going on?
So we've been married for just over 4 years.
Okay.
We were dating, I think 3 years.
Was there a moment that you knew, like, I'm definitely marrying this girl, you know, before you proposed? You're saying that. Was there this moment where you're like,
you know,
this thing that happened, and you're like, that's it.
I don't know that I could track it down to one thing.
Yeah, it was a good progression into that.
It was just like I know it. Right? Like at one point, I was just like, I just know it, and it's funny because my whole plan was like, if you were able to achieve certain things in Beachbody, you were able to win, or earn yourself a trip onto these really cool things, right? Like I was going to California every year for these really awesome leadership trips, but they have one where it's like celebrating success. Which in one year it was a trip to, like if you're able to do this, you could go on the trip to the Bahamas. So I was working for the entire year to earn this, and I was like, wouldn't that be awesome? Like to take her there and to do that. So it was something that I had already come to terms with, because I was like, if I'm gonna pull that off, it's gonna take constant work for the entire year to do it. So it was funny because she's like, when did you decide to do this? I was like, I decided a long time ago, because if I was gonna do this, I knew I'd need the year to do it.
You gotta work at it.
So I put it all together, and then I went to her parents, and her parents said no, they had no idea it was gonna happen. But I asked them, I asked them.
They didn't know, right? Yes.
No, they didn't know.
Yeah. You asked them, okay.
And then, so that was a complete surprise to them. Her brother also went on the trip with us with one of their close family friends. So it wasn't just the two of us. They had no idea either. So the only people that knew,
her brother didn't know, and her friend.
No.
Okay.
No, he didn't know.
You didn't ask
people
him before
that knew
or anything like
parents.
that. Okay.
What's
that? I said you didn't talk to him before, only the parents, right?
No, they just the parents.
Okay.
And so we were in the Bahamas and everything. We were at this one. They have like a garden there, so I guess you call it a garden. Where it's like the cloisters. So they had brought over parts of a castle from France or something like that, and they just kind of plopped them down there. And then outside of that, there was this long stretch of garden, which is beautiful. But and you're on an island, so you don't really get those long shots like that. And we set up at a spot kind of near the top, and I was like, "Hey, hey Tim, maybe could you do a video?" And he was just like, "Why would I do a video?" Because he's a photographer, he's taking pictures.
Like, I just want to take pictures.
And I was like,
that makes sense.
Would you mind doing that? Yeah,
you might want to do a video right now. Just trust me on it.
So I started. It was so funny because I started going down on one knee, and I could hear him. He was just like, "Oh my god." He was like, "What?" And then his other friend finally caught on, and he came around. And he started doing a video too. And I mean, it was awesome. And there was another couple there. Yeah, there was another couple there that also got engaged. I didn't know they were going to do that either. And
same time.
Same
time. Oh yeah, it was. Oh man. So I was talking with my mentor. And he was there, and he knew. I actually told him that I was going to do it, and so we ran into him once walking around, and he almost ruined it. Yeah, he was about to ask if he could see it, and I was like, I didn't do it yet, dude.
Oh no!
Like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no!
I know. Yeah, he was going to drop the worst spoiler.
Dude, that would be the worst spoiler ever.
It was really cool because. Like a lot of the other people that I was close to and that Francis had come to know were there, so they could celebrate with us too.
Yeah. So let's go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty good, man. So you get married.
Yeah.
And but we were happy for you guys. It's right. And man, I can only imagine how awesome that must have been just to be there in the Bahamas, and you feeling like you had to feel a little bit happy for yourself because it was like all this hard work. I assume she says yes, and
she'll be 2 in September.
And here you are married.
Io,
you have your daughter, right?
There's a story there too.
She's two.
John, what were you gonna say?
Oh no, no! It's basically fast forward to your life now.
Where's that name from?
And I'll talk. I'll get my question after you.
All right, I know we're probably running long as anything, but
no, it's good. It's okay.
So
this is not just any random guest now. Okay, this is a central part of Bad Catholic Dads.
so the name, right? So it's Io. We spell it AIOH. When we were dating, we just kind of
there's always these twists.
Talked about, they're like, yeah, you ever think of any baby names or whatever? And I heard, so Io is a moon of Jupiter, and I forgot where I heard it, but like it came up and it was like, oh, the moon of Jupiter, Io, and then it's described as the most exotic celestial body in our solar system because it all these different features to it. I was like, that's kind of cool. I kind of like that. And I was like, Io, it could work for boy or girl, whatever. And so I told her about that. I was like, yeah, I like the name Io. And I don't know anyone that has that name. It didn't really matter, but I was like, I just like it. And it kind of stuck with me. So I told her that. And then at one of our anniversaries, I think it was our first anniversary, she named a star with that name and she gave it to me. So we have that little star registry thing with Io on it. And then that year, we found out we were pregnant. We already decided that we were going to name her Io, right? And then it comes down to we're in the hospital. And the due date, I think initially was September, what was it?
Yeah.
September 14, I think was the initial due date.
And she came when?
Was it 14? I'm trying to remember the exact day. She came on what is it? Oh gosh, now I'm being stupid. She came on the 12th.
Okay. 2 days early.
So
yeah.
So but we were at the hospital early, and they're like, okay, so you're due the 14th, but we're gonna have to kind of speed this up.
Oh shoot!
Because of some small complications or whatever. So labor, I think, started on the 11th. Or no, maybe the 10th. No. It was late the 11th. So, okay, they're going to speed it up. So we're like, okay, well, we were due the 14th. Well, we don't, kind of suck if she was born on 9/11. Like, yeah, don't really want that to happen. Like, we don't want her to be born on the 13th because every now and then she'll have a Friday the 13th birthday. Yeah. So, so hopefully she lands somewhere right in the middle. She ended up being born on September 12th, which was our anniversary day. Wow. A year later. So she managed to come early enough to land right on the anniversary day, a year after the star was actually named after her. So then we're sitting there, and so the Social Security lady comes around and she's like, "Oh, hey, can you can fill out your form now, and we'll get the card set up for you." And we tried to put, so we wanted to give her, we wanted to name her Io, but we're like, maybe she won't like this kind of unusual name. So we decided to name her Claire Io with a hyphen.
Claire,
after Claire of Assisi.
Yep.
Assisi, because we did our honeymoon in Italy, and so we're like, okay, we'll do Claire Io, and then we tried to put it all on there as like 4 separate names, and they're like, no, actually, you can't do that with this application. So we're like, what? So we had to hyphenate the first name.
Yep.
So her first name really is Claire Io.
You had to hyphenate the first name?
Yeah, they made us hyphenate it because she has a middle name, like a
they didn't make us do that.
Name, I guess. They didn't make you do that?
No, it's James. It's just James Luke, no hyphen.
But he has 4 total names, or just 3?
Yeah, he has James Luke is his first name. Francisco is his middle name. Perez is his last name. Yeah,
man.
That's interesting. Hey, whoever it was that day probably was just like, I'm not dealing with this right now. I've had like 6 names today. You're not gonna hyphen, or you're gonna hyphen.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I don't know. That was interesting. Yeah, no, that was really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, she.
Yeah. There you go.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So I was gonna ask my question. Obviously, that's what an amazing story, right? And even greater because Claire Io is gonna now have a baby brother, which is really cool.
That's right.
Benjamin, great name by the way. Which moon is that one? The one you don't want.
Some other solar system.
Yes. Can you talk about like how your faith has grown throughout the years, and now that you're married, how you see, because you talked about earlier before you mentioned that, okay, you were in youth,
Oh man,
your parents brought you to their religious thing. Of course, you chose youth ministry for yourself after high school, or after 4 or 5 years of doing the youth group. You left, didn't have your faith as much as I think that you mentioned.
maybe
something like that.
if it's
Can you talk
maybe
about, like,
planetary
where your faith
moon,
is now, but how you
or if
see your
it's a location on Warframe,
now that
like
you're
it's
husband,
maybe
now that
to
you're a dad, because so many times, like even me, like, and Derek, I'm sure can attest to this too. It's like, okay, you're like your own man, and you're going through life, and you can see your faith as something important.
yeah, Benjamin.
But I think there's a weird
Which moon is that?
turns on when you become a dad, and you see how important faith is, because it's not just yourself. It's not just about your vocation to your wife, but now you have these little people that you probably need to be growing them in the faith, because it's important. I don't know. It's like there's like this switch that comes on, and it's a weird thing. But for some, like for example, like in my own life, like it's weird because my faith is not my own anymore. It's my family's, it's my kids. Hopefully it'll be my kids, God willing, and praying for that one. But can you talk about like how your faith has evolved throughout the years, but now, especially now that you're a husband, now that you're a dad, and what it means to you to pass on the faith to your kids?
Yeah. So I mean, it's been different, because it's kind of just been me fending for myself before the marriage, right? So I mean, I usually consider my faith strong, but my practice was weak, during a lot of that time where it's like there weren't a lot of times where I was ever doubting like what, that God loved me or what he was planning for me, but I didn't pray as much as I needed to. I wasn't going to church for a long time, but there were still some things that I just, would not do. So I wasn't going to just show up in church and go receive communion or anything like that. But until I had reconciled all that stuff, for myself, it was just hard, to be honest, to try and do that on my own, because like whenever times would be difficult, I knew what to do. I didn't have a lot of problems turning to him in that way. And I did have trouble remembering to do that when I was not in trouble, when I was just happy and joyous about something. I didn't think about him all that much when I should have. But it wasn't like I wasn't sharing it with anybody. I wasn't talking about it with anybody. And so it was very isolated. And it was good in a way, because it's kind of helped me in the way that I just converse with God, So sometimes Francis will ask me, like, if there's something I could do to help encourage prayer, and I'm like, what, I don't. And I mentioned that to you as one of the things that I'm hoping, to really kind of get and grow in, because for me, I just talk to him, and it kind of came out of those moments in my life where it was like, there was not a lot of structure to it at the time, so I would often find myself just talking to him, and that's kind of how my prayer evolved in that way. It's like anytime I pray now, it's more a conversation than anything else. And also there were a couple of times in there where, like, circling back to my dad when he got cancer, like I was telling a few people about this in the Wabi Sabi Stories project, where it's like my dad was having this crisis of faith, and I was there, like because the surgery could have changed his life completely. It was colorectal cancer, so if the surgery didn't go well, he was going to have like a colostomy bag attached to his hip, right? Nobody wants that, and he was terrified of that for good reason. But so he was praying for that not to happen, and the family's all praying for that not to happen. But I was kind of over here with myself saying, I don't, like, something was just sort of like, I don't want to ask for that not to happen necessarily. I just want to ask for, like, this is me talking to God, right? I just want what you want to happen. you know, and that like I don't, whatever that might be, because I feel like if I'm sitting here asking for all the things that I want, it just feels selfish to me, you know, and that was a really big, I don't know, I guess maturing of my faith, where it was like I don't, it's not about what I want to happen. You know, I just, what I really want is for you to happen, because if that happens, I know it'll be good. At eventually, you know, in the end, it'll be fine. And it could have been really bad where we lost my dad. And you know, there are lots of times my mom having her strokes. You know, it's like, well, we don't know what's going to happen here either. But and every time it was the same thing. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I know what I want to happen. You know, of course, but what I really want to happen is what you have in store for us, what your plan has for us. You know, those are rough times, because it was just like, if you decide to take my parents, so be it. You know, and just like having to swallow that was a hard thing to do, but that stuff, you know, that kind of prayer came to me during those times, and I think. And I think I was able to do it that way because it was just very personal, very private, you know. But huge change though when I got married, and that really, the difference really came home during our pre-marriage workshops at our church, because our father, I love, you know, Father Byrne is amazing over at St. Peter's. He just came right out and said, you know, when you get married. He was like, husbands, your goal is to get your wife and get your kids to heaven. And it was just very like, this is your new mission. and I was like, I had never thought of it that way. You know, like
that's the mission. That's the mission statement, man. The new mission statement.
Like that perspective was just like, whoa. and same thing, you know, same thing to the wives. Like, you know, you're a family now, so you're you know, of course you got to take care of all the necessities and everything, but it's like, in the end, this is your job, is to get them to heaven, right? And I was like, man, that's hard. Like it's difficult for me because I'm coming out of this private faith time, you know, so I don't really know how to encourage that with my family, other than doing the best that I can. Of course, you know, it's like being the best example is where I'm starting. But even then, it's like there's so many things that I'm trying to get right, like with myself, so that I can be that example, and then you know, give that out to them. But you're right. It's so different as a father and as a husband, where it's like, that faith is like exactly what you said. The faith isn't mine anymore, and you have to find a way to translate that into the people that you love, you know, and whether or not they're going to do what they're going to do, but you know, I have to do what's right. I have to do what I need to do to get that to happen. And it's really hard. It's really hard.
That's a really I like that transition story of like how you evolved from this very personal type to where you have to be more extroverted in the way that you're, you know, proclaiming your faith to your family and having, you know, ownership. That's something that definitely grows over time, you know, and especially with your wife on your side, it helps so much with, you know, kind of empowering you to do that. And it takes those awkward steps sometimes out of, you're not used to praying out loud. It's always like the awkward step you have to take in that practice. And it sounds like you have like a complete understanding of like just what's going on internally for you. And I think that's going to help you just blossom even more in your faith as your children get a little bit older, and you're going to teach them specific things. Like, it's so cool that you know who you are, and you know the way that God speaks to you the most, and then to turn it to help your children. I think that's a very beautiful thing, and that's something that's growing. It sounds like you're aware of what's happening. That's really neat. So right now, as a dad, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna like tie up this about like some of your favorite stuff being a dad, and then go into like some listener questions and just certain things of like what you hope to bring to like that happy dads. Being a dad, short summary. I like that transition story of like how you evolved
I
from
love
this very personal type to where converted
right
in the way
now,
that
you know,
you're,
because
you know,
she's not even 2
claiming
yet,
your
so
faith
she's
to your family
Io right now is
and
just going through
having to
all
take a
these
different
new
ownership. And that's
new
something that
things, and like every day
definitely
she's doing
grows
something
over
new, and
time,
she's like,
you know,
man,
and especially with your wife on your
it's
side,
just it's
it
exciting to
helps
watch.
so much
And
with,
then it's exciting to know that
you know, kind of empowering you.
I
It takes those
can.
awkward steps
There are
sometimes out
things
of,
that I can
you're
do
not
to
used to
help
praying
her
out loud. It's always like that
be
awkward
who
step
she's
you have
gonna
to
be.
take,
You
and
know,
it's that
and
practice.
right now it's all small
And
stuff,
it sounds
but
like
it's
you
funny,
have
like,
like a
you know,
complete
she's learning
understanding
to
of
say
like
bless you when someone sneezes now, and I'm like, that's really
just
funny.
what's
And it's
going
learned,
on
she's like,
internally
she's
for you. And I
learning
think that's
to
going to help you just
when
blossom
somebody
even more in
answers
your
something, she'll
faith
say thank
as
you,
you,
and then
your children get a little
so
bit
it's
older
like
and you're going
small
to teach them
stuff right
specific
now. But then I'm
things.
like,
Like,
you know, down the road,
it's so cool that you know
there
who
are.
you are
It's like I need
and,
to start
you know,
get ahead
the
of my
way
game,
that
so
God
that when
speaks to you the
when
most,
she's picking up more
and
things,
and
she's picking
then
up the right
to
things,
turn it
you
to
know?
help, you know,
But
like you
it's
said, your wife and
exciting
your
to
children get to
just
heaven. I think that's
to see all that
because it
happen,
sounds,
you know,
that's really neat.
and to just watch her kind of grow
So
and learn things
because
and
what we're gonna
experience
do is
things. Like
we're just gonna
she'll,
like about like
we probably
some of
don't
your
spend
favorite
as much
stuff of being a
time like
dad, and then
purposefully
go into
teaching
like
her stuff as we
some
should, to be
listener
honest.
questions
But
and
she
just certain
she
things of
learns so much,
to like bad
and
Catholic
it's
dads.
always like, where
But
did you
being
get
a
that?
dad,
You know, like she's
short
like,
summary,
we did
Yeah.
we
what
showed
is
her things like
amazing
the
about
alphabet and
it
stuff like
for
that.
you?
Like she can count to almost 20 right now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, we never even tried
Wow.
purposely to teach her that, and she just kind of figured it out.
It's incredible. Soaking up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I can't wait, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's gonna be so different. Get ready, brother.
I
It's gonna be
oh man.
so different, dude. It's awesome though. It's awesome in that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cover with a like. Make sure you cover because
Always the first piece of advice.
you will get
Yeah.
sprayed. I got sprayed so many times, dude. Oh my
Zero
gosh.
spray.
I got
man?
sprayed like first day of hospital. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, dude, it was like baptism by pee. What waterboarding? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So trauma is the key. Early
Yeah.
trauma
Yeah.
is the key. Okay.
Yeah, dude. Got
Just
different
redirect.
angles,
Just
dude.
redirect.
Yeah. Yeah, redirect for
Beings
sure. Redirect.
are amazing, especially the babies, because their
Nice.
brains just so fast, and then it's really crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
enjoy this time as like, you know, while she's
Yeah.
like
Let's do it. So
not even two
real
yet,
quick,
because it's
Chris,
such a
like,
beautiful stage. Because you'll
let's
have
bring you
and
on
you'll look at those
everything.
pictures like, oh
From
my
what your
gosh, you were so
understanding
little,
is,
and now
what-
you have these long
what
conversations.
you
You
what
won't
are you
shut
hoping to
up.
accomplish
You know, like.
like with,
there
with
is,
your
like,
role,
this-
with everything that we talked
just
about.
seeing it
What
develop.
are you bringing?
You know you have a
What do you
boy on
really
the way
want?
too, so you're gonna get like
Yeah.
I would love
that's
to.
awesome.
I'm all about
Yeah,
building a community. So, I mean, I know
because
I'm
you guys
definitely
are
gonna start
the
do what I can to
reverse,
pitch in
right?
for social media.
First one's boy,
and,
first
and
one's
help the reach and help
Mm.
and
you know,
that's
the
cool.
exposure.
Mhm.
and get some other
Cool.
dads
So
in here.
you'll be able to
But,
get some
I'm really
pointers
big on
from
community. you know,
John
'cause
about what to
I-
do with the little boy and everything.
As I was
and
listening
I'll
to
be
you
able
guys, I
help
was
you
like,
out too.
we more dads need to hear this, and more dads.
Dude, I
need
never
to
got
just be
sprayed.
part of this conversation where we're sharing all
Dude.
this stuff and all.
Well,
it's like
the one time
there have got to be so many dads out there that just feel like they're
Was it
hanging
really?
out on a limb.
I just remember Blake
And
is
that shouldn't be the case.
waterboarding himself the one time, and he
and
never like
we talked about like I had another project on my own that was kind of
there, and it peed right
back burner.
into his face,
whereas I
and
just
he
wanted
couldn't
to
stop, man. He had
to
a full
do something
bladder.
that was going to be helpful for
I had
other
to
dads,
spit him
for
up.
other men.
That was
you
the
know?
only
Because
Yeah.
like right now, that's
It-
exactly where I am. It's
angle,
trying to figure all
angle.
that
It's
stuff
all about
out. It's trying to figure out how to be the best husband I can be.
Directing
how
to
how
the
to
conversation.
be a really good dad now that
the
I've got a child. And and also how to
I
not
think. Do you
fall
want to
apart
jump into
while
just
doing all
like
this, right?
a quick
So-
kind of thing
Yeah.
of what
Oh, sorry.
to
Go
do
ahead.
that, but no, it's
BCD
fine.
and stuff?
But the difference was that what I was going to do myself didn't have anything to do with faith at all, and it's an integral part of the success of all that. So when this all started happening, I was like, this is really where I think I need to be, and I want that community. I want people to feel like they've come home to brothers.
No, yeah, definitely. That's good. So speaking of community, and kind of just like rewinding everything back, in your mind, what I mean, other than like us being your friends and everything, like and like we knew each other and like about how how important our faith is, but really, you being a listener, you kind of just watching us from afar, like what kept or like why BCD, like why the attraction, I guess, there, but also what drew you to want to be a part of this, because there's so many, I mean, you can look at it from so many different angles, whether it's just, I really enjoy the podcast every week, or, I think, like you were saying, like, I think that more dads should hear this, but for you personally, why did you like listening to us every week, but also what made you kind of want to take the next step in really just joining our team?
What I like is it's just the realness, to be honest. You really are just a couple of guys trying to do something.
We're
trying to do something
guys,
better,
buddy. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, just a couple of guys. But that's good.
We're that team. Yep,
we're those guys.
We're that new team.
But it was the authenticity of it. It's like we want to do something good. We've got a lot of stuff to figure out, but we're gonna do it along the way.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously in the name and in the mission, it's like we clearly recognize awesome. There's stuff to be, there's stuff to improve, there's stuff to learn. There's we have a lot of room to grow, and I appreciate that humility, to be able to just come out and say that right out front. It's like we want to help people, but we need help just as much as everyone else does. But I mean, I know you guys, and so
yeah,
when I would hear you guys talk about stuff, I would just be sitting there and I'm like, man, I'd love to be part of that conversation right now. Like there's some stuff I would like some input I'd like to give on that, but and because it's just guys having a conversation, and it's not like preachy. It's not, you're not trying to
sell you something.
Yeah, I'm not trying to like go over anybody's like bash it over anybody's head or anything. It's not overbearing. It's just
there you go.
Just a conversation, just sharing experiences, learning from each other.
Yeah,
and that's what I appreciated about it.
Like on that, because you kind of mentioned some of it, what you're just saying. You were kind of mentioning with the authenticity and just the realistic humility, because we don't know everything. But is there something else that you think Bad Catholic Dads is doing really well?
Yeah, nothing special there. Yeah.
Those guys. Well, we hired Chris, so that's number one. We're doing well.
Your guys' hiring processes are.
We keep hiring. We gotta keep hiring the right people. That's awesome. Send them, Holy Spirit. Send them. Seriously.
Yeah, that's right. Point them this way. I mean, the consistency was a big thing. I mean, getting this far was just incredible, and so.
I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah,
58 episodes. Oh man, crazy.
So that's definitely doing something right. And I don't know. It just being true to what you guys set out to do. To be honest, and no, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's just beach body it. There we go.
That's on my.
Oh, we need even the
That's on
bishop
my
is
Google
not there.
Doc drive. I just haven't shared it with you yet.
Nice.
No, so, I mean, you had did you? I don't know if you did talk about this on the episode with the plans for the future, but I learned that like
kind of like
fellowship
on
in
that
person.
because you kind of mentioned some of it
I
with
mean,
what you're
I
just
think we all
saying.
know this, but
You
doing
were
that
kind of
in
mentioning with
person
the
and building a
authenticity
community,
and
that kind of
just the
fellowship
realness, the humility,
is
because we don't know everything.
so different,
But
and it's huge, right?
is there something else that you think
And
Bad Catholic
I'm not
Dads is doing?
I'm not going to say
really
you guys were
well?
lacking in that, because
like
you
right
guys
now,
are just,
I know
we're just getting
kind of
everything
alluded
started,
to that,
but that's what I would
is
really
there
love
something
to see,
actually,
and that's what I would really love to do and to help with, is to get something
That's the
together
next step.
where
Yep.
like where dads at a local level are actually coming
keep
together
getting better.
physically and in person to actually support each other in that way, you know?
Yeah.
And that in and of itself is sometimes difficult for, you know, one, men they're not always likely to share their feelings and open up that way, and then now you're talking about doing it with faith, you know? So not always an easy thing to do. And if we could do something to help men, help fathers experience that and feel that, then it's that much more powerful when you take it home, you know, to your family.
And then the inverse. Oh, go ahead. Keep going. That is, what's something that you'd like to see Bad Catholic Dads do that we're not doing right now, and you think that you can add and improve on? I mean, you before, but is there some areas that you definitely think like, I'm gonna totally get these guys working out. I'm gonna get them in shape, healthy life fit, and then I'll add to the podcast.
Maybe they are struggling. And it is good because it gives you hope. It's like, okay, I'm not the only one. And you want to stay to that team, much like what you're saying about seeing them in person. It's this, you take off these layers of armor and you're like, okay, this is who I am. These are the struggles. These are my strengths. But as a community, you can love me for these scars that I have from this. And that's why I like having you aboard with this, Chris, too, because you mentioned that, you're emotional sometimes, man. Like crying for movies and stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm a sap. No, not at all.
It amplifies it. You're crying at things that you never should cry at. You know what I mean?
Like the Wiggles.
Like the Wiggles. Like the Wiggles, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. No, and on the head of why this is also really important is that, I mean, in this day and age, we've seen it a lot of times where there's a certain stereotype for men.
Well, I was going to mention this earlier, and I think you guys touched on it.
We're
on
cast
a
to do the
different
best we
episode.
can, and we do have the failings,
but it's
like
like
try to
when I
express
was,
it,
like,
and
we were
that's something
sitting
that
through all
I
of
know my
our
dad wasn't used to
wedding,
doing. And
classes at
there
church
is
and all
this
this stuff.
type of
And every
healing and
time I go
strength and
to
being
another
able
wedding,
to
it's like,
speak about those
especially
things,
when I
and
go
to
to,
hear that
like,
other men are
non-Catholic weddings,
vulnerable in that situation.
like, there is just
where,
something that is so
maybe they are
fundamentally
struggling.
different
It
about
is like,
going
okay, I'm not
to
the only one,
and
and you want to
being
stay to that team,
in a
much like
Catholic
what you're saying
marriage.
about seeing them in
And I
person.
think that's
layers of
why I'm
armor,
like,
and you're
as
like,
much as
okay,
I would love
this
to
is
do
who I
something
am. These
for
are the
anybody
struggles. These
out
are my
there, it's like,
strengths.
well, I would really,
But
I really
you
want to
can love me
focus on
for
Catholic,
for these scars that I have
Catholic
from
marriages,
this, and
because
I love this,
that's
Chris,
where
too,
I
because
am.
you
Like,
mentioned that.
that's what I can.
You're
speak to,
emotional
because,
sometimes, man. Like crying for movies and
like,
stuff like that.
when you're
Is,
at, like, sitting down at a Catholic
I mean, and
wedding,
being a
it's like,
dad
okay,
doesn't help that.
this is
That
happening,
amplifies.
and once it's done,
Like
that's
it's
it. It's like, so when people
Yeah,
like
no,
other couples
exactly.
or
I
new
think
couples
that's
ask
really
us
important.
about,
Oh,
how are we when we get into fights, or how are we when
But I think it's so
we get
good
into
that
these rough
you help
patches. I'm like,
that
well,
conversation, because I would
my
like
only
make
option is to
that
figure
a
it out.
normal thing where
Because,
Catholic men
like,
can talk about their faith,
you know, like
and talk about
separate, yeah, like
the
separation
things they
is
love
not an
about
option.
their
Like,
children, and
we can't
not
do
to have it
that.
a
We're not gonna
taboo
get
topic
divorced
where I'm like, I'm
ever,
just a
so I'm
man
not
and I go
worried
to
about
work.
that.
And
My only option
it's
is to
great to have this
figure it
opening
out,
up of
you know?
like,
Mhm.
you can
And
be
that
the
kind of
spiritual head to
eliminates
your
all
home,
the other things that I
and
might
you can
be
also
thinking
cry.
about.
It's okay.
You know, it's like,
That's
well,
why I think it's really cool to mention that in person. That
yeah,
it's somewhere that,
yeah,
like
it's
you
like
said,
I have
we did
one
mention
thing.
it in the things that
Solve
we've
it.
done down the road. And
You
the
know?
first thing that you had mentioned also
Yeah.
was,
But
you know,
like,
that consistency. And if we
yeah,
can establish that base,
exactly.
we like to move to the next thing.
But
I'm just
like,
really happy
but
that you're
like, if I'm
married
at
and you're not, a
non
woman's not going to
or,
take you away
different
from us.
denomination, it's like that they don't necessarily have that, you know, and that's kind of, that makes me sad personally, because like our faith does so much for me in terms of getting through difficult times like that. But like that's one of the things where it's like, you know, I want to do this from a perspective of faith, because it is such an integral part of our marriage and what we are doing, that if someone that, you know, like if someone that was non-Catholic came to me for advice, I'd be like, well, you just got to figure it out, man. He's like, well, I might leave. Like, oh, can't help you there. You know, you're like, I don't even know what that's about. You know, that's not an option for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not, you're not leaving.
Yeah, no, just again, just heartful thank you to Chris and for saying yes, which is really awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, we started this a year ago.
Makes it easy,
More than a year
options.
ago now. A year and 5-6 months now.
Yeah.
And you know, we didn't really know.
Solve it, or
we just knew we wanted
carry
to
the
talk
cross.
about our faith and how it pertains to our fatherhood and our family. And you know, we our goal was to put out a weekly episode on different topics about faith, family, and fatherhood, and we did that, and you know, the growth came, and which is awesome, and it's all great, and community came, which is great, and there's so many dads. Shout out to so many dads and so many people who have reached out to us with so many kind words, and it's awesome because you guys said in the podcast, like, you know, I think one of the best parts of our podcast, if I do say myself, is just how relatable we can be towards dads, and like, oh my god.
Before we let our audience leave,
I've seen.
I just want to really, John and I want to thank you for just on this podcast, and just really getting to know you more as we go forward.
I'm not the only one going through this,
Catholic
and like
dads.
all that, and just
is there anything else? John,
I can't believe we're here. You know, and it sounds so dumb for me to say that, because you know, it's almost like a kid, right? Like at some point in time, they were not even a thought, you know, and here they are, a physical being and manifestation of the love between you and your wife, and running around and snot nose and coughing and stabbing each other in the face and the foot with pencils. But
it's tattooing each other.
Yeah, exactly, tattooing. But it's beautiful because, you know, it's something that, you know, we've worked on, you know, and to get to this point, you know, and God willingly, you know, it's kind of what Chris said, just for this podcast, it's whatever God wants with this podcast is what I say, you know. But hopefully we get to a point where we just, you know, Chris is our first hire, but hopefully he's not our last hire. Does that, you know what I mean? And let's just continue to grow this. And I'm just so proud of what this is and what it's become. And Derek, of course, thank you to you. Obviously, every single week you show up, and thank you. But right now, thank you, Chris, and we truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for being our first hire. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys. I'm stoked.
Stabbing each other in the face with pencils. They've come so far. Yeah. Yeah. And just that Holy Spirit, like we've always said this. It's like
Uh,
we're gonna just,
going to
you know, there's these
well,
hardships
I'll
and
let
these
Chris
things in our
go.
lives that
Chris,
we need filled,
any shout outs
and
or
the Holy
prayers you wanna
Spirit
offer?
seems to be life
Uh,
saying like you need
shout-outs-
this or
shout
you
out
need
to you
that,
guys.
and you know, as long as we can
For,
still be
for
open,
everything
this
that
kind of
you've done.
turns into. We're
Yeah,
still
shout out to my
open
parents.
to that. You know,
My,
like it is
my
our
mom's actually
creation,
recovering
but
from
we are definitely being formed by
heart
the Holy
surgery,
Spirit.
but she's doing
And,
great. So
you know,
shout out to
I'm
them for
very
being everything
appreciative
that
of
they
that.
are.
I think that's helped
for
as a
my, shout out to my
communication
in-laws
to say
for-
like
for blessing
this is
us
where I'm
with everything
lacking or
they've
this
given
is what I
us.
need. And
As far
you know,
as
these are what people
prayer,
can do to help us. And I
requests,
think that will
it just
communicate.
would
those
have to
things.
be
So,
for our for Benjamin. We were a few
any
weeks
shout
well,
outs
more than
or
a few weeks
prayers?
out at this point, but
Any
we're
prayer
getting into
requests?
the final stretch now. So prayers for that. I know. She's getting double 2 scoops of ice cream.
Wow. Oh,
Of course,
yeah.
of course.
Sure. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. Shout out to your daughter
gosh.
Io too for holding the phone steady for this long for your video to work.
Yes.
My just prayer request is for
Yeah,
Isaac's
shout
head
out to
to heal.
everyone and
That would
anyone
be
who's been listening to the show.
fantastic.
We truly
He's
appreciate it.
doing well,
Of
but
course, definitely
you know,
want to shout out our
it's a
patrons
scary thing as a dad, just
for
thinking
your
about
support.
you
We
know
couldn't
scary.
do that.
And then when you hear the word skull
my prayer
fracture,
request is
is
we're going out
definitely-
of town. Going back home.
I think it's just been more stressful on
Have a
Bethany and I than
vacation.
him. He doesn't
summer.
care. He's still trying to roughhouse with his
July
so.
thing, and I'm
But
excited
yeah,
to
just
see my
if you can
parents.
prayers for healing for him, and just
so
and
it'll be
also
good.
thankfulness that it didn't require surgery. Those were the two. We're just
And listeners, anytime you have any questions or anything you want to throw our way, leave us any kind of like review, shout out, anything on any of the social media things. We have multiple eyes on things now.
Yes, we do.
nice. And listeners, anytime you have any questions or anything you want to throw our way, give us any kind of like review any of the social multiple eyes on things now. So, you know, please add that.
Google, yeah,
Leave us a
we'll have
review
to
if you
figure it out
can.
when we
It
get
helps
through this, yeah.
show up for other dads to hear these podcasts. So that really helps kind of stir the pot and make the cream rise to the top. So please keep doing that. You can listen to us on SoundCloud, Google Play, all that stuff, YouTube, Facebook,
Yep.
Google
Yeah.
Hangouts, I mean all that stuff.
Oh, I have to add. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out that video stuff.
I'm on Twitter, but I don't
But
use it too
yeah,
much.
please follow us Twitter. Check out our
but I
Patreon
am
page.
at the Wody
Catholic
Man,
Dads on Patreon.com.
THEWHO
Twitter stuff. Follow John at John Perez A.
DYMAN.
Is that it?
I'm on Instagram
And then
more often.
me
At there, I'm
at
actually
the Derek Rogers and
I don't know why I
Chris.
have
Where
all
they
these
can they
different
follow you?
names. I think there I'm at Critgo.
Consistency. I'm
I
kidding.
know.
No, I get it. I get it, I get it.
CHRITGO on Instagram.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram at Back Catholic Dads, Facebook at Back Catholic Dads, Twitter at Back Catholic Dads. Hashtag.
Awesome. Anything else, fellas? Before we
Bye,
do
guys.
the outro. Hashtag BCD, hashtag 44%, hashtag Orthodox.
We need like a long intro outro, like a extended version, so I can just keep playing it in the background.
We'll make it.
We're
We're getting
we'll have
into
to.
what year 2?
When do I get to
We'll
lay some
have to
vocal
update
tracks on
that.
that?
Oh, there we go. Derek, yeah, that's Derek. He's the guy.
See, we need. Hey, dude, we update this. Yeah, let's do it.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna definitely add that.
I know
Yeah,
you guys
going
are
late,
work in the morning.
you know,
but thank you.
Sorry that I had to get on late and everybody. Part of it too with these, like I think the
Yeah.
introduction videos
No,
are
agreed.
important,
Thank you.
and they
No,
always
for
were
real,
long.
like,
It's just hard to do a short
appreciate
one
it, dude.
with something like that.
Is this done?
You can chop it up if you want.
Yeah,
It did.
it's good. I mean,
Dude, it's let's see.
You
It's- that
podcast from the evening. I mean, look at
anyone
us go.
guess?
This podcast spanned 2 days. We've done that
Hour
a few
14, is
times.
that what you said?
It's almost it's in the 2-hour range.
Dude, it's
Hour
about 50.
14 minutes. Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's almost. Yeah, dude. Let me cut off the banter part. Not the banter
Really?
part.
Oh,
The
intro?
part where we're actually. Here, I think this is the song. Let me listen. Nope, that's not the song. Let me find the song. I can easily find the song. It's like big and large.
Yeah, no problem.
So this one.
Extension for Google. Like
Okay.
that.
So
works.
3 minutes is shaved off, but so it's about an hour and 50. Almost an hour and 50.
Man.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. I mean, it's,
But
it's like you
that's
said, it
the
is
combination of
you know,
and, a
podcast
backstory,
which always goes long, and it's hard to get someone's entire life story in about an hour. So I'm sure people. Yeah. Oh yeah. Total time it was a couple hours, but yeah. Oh man, you guys waking up early tomorrow, or what's going on tomorrow?
Yeah,
You betcha.
Oh, man,
Also,
thank you.
it was like a few
Thank
things.
you. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Thank you.